Just in time. Oh, back on. I forgot to get all the cat hair off my microphone. We got... I can't believe you're allergic to cats. There's cat hair.
It's so unfortunate, man.
all
It's so
over.
unfortunate.
Hold on. Mute. I'm gonna mute you real quick. Which one did I put you on? Give me your microphone. I'm about to like.
You're gonna eat the cat hair.
I'm gonna lick it off.
I've been picking it off.
Can you feel it in here?
I can feel it in my lungs.
Oh! That sucks.
When I stop breathing, then you can just...
yeah, end it when he stops breathing.
He's got your mom's got one of those EpiPens or whatever. We can get you
Does
going.
it get to that
There we
point?
go. No, I've never had it getting to that point.
If it does, no problem.
Yeah. Basically, like, my eyes just get real dry and watery.
I'm
Yeah.
way too hot. I gotta
You can feel it when you breathe. They get real itchy. That's about it.
It's like allergies.
But it's like the first time I found out I was allergic to cats. It was tragic, man. I was out in my yard. Black cat came up to me, started rubbing on me. I started petting him. I was in love with this cat.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that, like, my eyes aren't supposed to get red and itchy. And I
Yeah.
go back to the house and they're like, "You're allergic to cats." I'm like, "Nah."
Nah.
I love
That
this
boy
cat.
loves me
I
too
used
much.
to know somebody who was allergic to all fruit,
Dude.
but it was so mild. It was like
Getting scared.
apples and bananas and carrots. Like it was
Yeah.
all these different things, and she just had a very mild, scratchy throat. It was like she could do it. I think eggs too. It was like it was a huge amount of actual stuff she was allergic to.
That would be
I'm-
awful.
I'm low-key in the same boat with certain fruits, veggies,
What?
like cucumbers.
Yeah.
I can eat them. Within 5 minutes, I'm throwing up.
What?
I can smash pickles, but there's something in the cucumber. I forget what it's called. It's like such a corny name, but in the pickling process, it gets removed or like distilled or
Yeah.
whatever. Same with watermelon. I can eat it, start throwing up later. If I eat too much
Weird.
lettuce without like anything else, like
Yeah.
croutons and cheese and meat, I get sick. Tomatoes, like any of the like super watery fruits or veggies, like I
What
just can't
the
do it.
heck?
You would be a horrible rodent. No,
Red apples?
That's crazy. But there's also like so much of the stuff we eat today is just horrible for you anyway.
It is.
So
Yeah.
the stuff we can eat is already
Yeah.
just actually
fruits,
carcinogenic.
Oh. I don't know what
love
I would
some
do
good
without fruit.
Though, yeah. Like the fruits that I can eat, I'm just in love with. Like green apples, I can go ham on green apples.
But you can't do red apples.
Red apples, they make me sick for some reason.
That's really crazy.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's super
I
bizarre.
knew a kid that was allergic to chicken.
Oh, that
Dang,
would.
That's awful.
I would just kill myself.
Yeah.
I put a bullet in my brain.
I guess if you've never had it, you don't know any better. but-
Allergic to certain fruits.
Chicken, bro. I
Yeah.
feel like chicken is
It's weird.
everything. I
And
feel like I
he-
have chicken every day.
I couldn't live without chicken
Yep.
in any form.
Yeah, chicken is the one food I would go to if I had to do one.
If I had to do one meat for the rest of my life,
Actually,
Honestly, I would do a ribeye. I do ribeye.
I would do steak, but if that means I don't have to pay for it, if I just get it for the rest of
Yeah.
my life, I'd do a steak. If I had to pay for it, I'd do chicken.
if we can just categorize it as like beef as a whole,
Yeah.
I might go with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, chicken like breast, wings, you name it, fried, grilled, it's all good.
I just get.
Oh, sorry.
Classic.
That's from when we were doing when I was on my dry February. We got these drinks. There's one can somewhere. I don't know. They're the
Thick
San
water?
Pellegrino, not the thick water one. That one is so funny.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see
Yeah,
that.
that was freaking nasty.
I don't know if
Oh
I
yeah,
could do that.
that can up there. It's like super sugary, like seltzer water almost. It's just like a soda. It's like a lemon soda.
It was kind of like, I like to do surprises every once in a while on the pod.
Yeah. It looks like it should be alcoholic.
So I got a surprise for us today.
Yes. Speaking of fruit.
Yes.
We're going to stab each other.
Yeah. Yeah, 1v1v1.
Let's see what I got
Oh, I was okay. The stinky fruit.
You know what it is.
You know what it is.
Yes.
You know the sticky fruit.
I have.
Gosh.
How do you know what this is?
I just know because I watched the podcast and I heard you talking.
No way. Let's go.
I'm so excited, but now I'm a little nervous because we already got you in here with all the cat hair, and now we're gonna feed you a mystery.
Yeah, we're trying to kill you.
Okay, let's do it. I'm excited.
I'm actually really nervous. I'm thinking we'll wait a little bit longer just in case it actually smells as bad as they say.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say
we should crack it open.
right now.
Yeah.
Fuck
You want to do it right now?
Yeah.
I'll let you crack it open.
Let me crack it open.
Yeah.
Because I've got the most amount of real estate. Hold on.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So yeah, when I went to.
I normally like excuse myself to burp, but this whole time I'm just gonna keep burping.
No,
into the
that's
mic.
not what we do on this podcast. Excuse me, I have to go fart in the toilet and flush it.
No, I'm not gonna lie. When I first watched the podcast and you kept burping, I'm like, okay. And then I kept watching. I'm like, okay.
It becomes a thing. It becomes a thing.
Oh, dude, it hurts so bad.
It's so sharp. I have no idea. Okay, you're supposed to be able to shake it, and if it sloshes around too much, it's overripe. And if it only barely sloshes around, let me get my mic up to it.
Measure the slosh. I don't hear any slosh.
So that means it's probably not overripe.
I think it's good.
Overripe is what you don't want.
You're just gonna like bag of ice method.
Oh god.
God, imagine this getting thrown at you.
It looks so weird.
We got it was frozen.
Does it grow like a tree or does it grow like a coconut?
Honestly, I have no idea. Let me take a picture of it. I don't have a good picture of it. Look, okay.
It's like a STD coconut.
So we knew about the durian and we didn't know where to get it, and then it came up on that ANC store up by
Yeah, yeah.
Raleigh, and I was looking for it for so long, and I just felt weird in that store anyway because I
Yeah.
couldn't read most of the stuff and I didn't know what anything was. And there's like all these dead fish on ice. Like it feels like you're no longer in an American store at all.
Dude, but those are honestly the best stores. Like, I used to go there a lot with Long, and then
Yeah?
like
Oh
in
my
Puerto
gosh.
Rico, because I went to Puerto Rico with my girlfriend and her family recently.
Yeah.
Like the Puerto Rican supermarket is just like something about it.
It just hits
it's
different.
man.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's different. Does it stink? I'm not smelling it yet.
Oh, dude, it is like
I finally
it is just like sulfur.
I found a guy that worked there. I thought he worked there because he was restocking shelves. Otherwise, there was no way to tell. And I'm like, "Do you guys have this?" And I put up a picture of durian. And he looked mad that I was even asking. I can't smell it
Why
still.
was he mad?
I don't know. It was
Like
just
an
weird.
appropriation thing?
And then he found it. He eventually
Oh, is it that bad?
Dude, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to eat this.
Okay, let me keep going. I eventually find it. I get the biggest fucking one that they have because I'm like, of course I'm gonna get the biggest one.
Yeah.
I spent $50 on that thing.
Jeez.
But
We
the
gotta
woman who was checking me out,
It looks it looks like butter.
it's supposed to be a delicacy. She was checking me out. She was like, "Do not be afraid of the smell." She was saying this in like very broken English. Do not be afraid.
No.
Oh, you dropped it.
Cat hair.
Now that one, yeah, keep that one separate because that one's got cat hair on it. And it's gonna double kill him.
Oh god. Yeah, I don't know what happens if I eat cat hair.
I'm not smelling it.
I gotta get in here. I'll just wait till it comes around.
Oh
Is it like a fart stink or is it like
no, it's like sulfuric. I think that's good though. That means that it's good. If it's not sloshing around, it's
bad.
not overripe.
I honestly like it smells kind of like your shoe got a little sweaty.
Yeah. I feel like we should have spoons.
Dude,
I don't know
that
how
is
we're supposed to
disgusting.
eat this.
It doesn't look like a fruit. It looks like eggs.
It's supposed to be one of the most healthy fruits you can eat. Hold on, still. There's a cat hair on it. I think I got it. I might have got it. I might
It
not
does
have.
not look good. I will say.
It smells gross.
God, it's about to puncture holes in my.
Oh,
head.
it's gonna make me gag a little bit.
I think
I
can
want
do
the
it.
camera
I
to see
expected-
this texture real quick. Hold on.
I had worse expectations, so I'm glad it fell short. That definitely looks like powdered eggs.
It does. Gus, will you go grab some spoons? Whoa, it's so gross. But she said, okay, she's like, She's like, do not be turned off by the scent of it. It's really, really good. She's like, have you had this? Have you had this before? And we're like, I'm like, no.
I just heard it was smelly.
I heard
so
it was.
eat it.
Yeah. She's like, it's her favorite thing to eat.
Oh, word. Okay.
She's like, but you got to get past the smell.
I'm excited.
But it's also got all these health benefits. I've been thinking about this stupid thing for so long.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it too. I'm glad you brought it up.
I bought it frozen. They just all are
Where?
frozen, and apparently they're ready to eat. It looks weird.
Yeah, it does.
It looks so
Is
weird.
that what it's supposed to look like?
I think so. Let me check.
Those look like organs. Like, what are those? I guess those are the seeds.
Yeah, I think those are the seeds. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it looks like. I don't know how you peel it in this
I was gonna say, you
professional
probably
way.
are supposed to just cut it down the middle, but
Yeah, people are spending too much time peeling these things. Gotta slice it in half. Yeah, it looks right.
Oh, it stinks in here.
I'm not as affected by the smell as I thought I would be,
Yeah,
which is
same.
kind of good. It's not as...
I expected like a rotten egg type smell.
That's what it's... Oh, I'm getting whiffs, though. Here, you want to scoop it?
Yeah. Oh god. The texture might be more than
You got the biggest...
Okay, I'm not gonna take a big old scoop.
Dude, it's like ice cream.
She said it was like ice cream. That's what she said. I had a dream that I was eating this
Really?
last night, I think, and it tasted so good. So-
God, it's such a weird texture.
oh, it looks like...
We gotta do it all at once.
Ooh.
Are you going to take a little bite, or are you going to
I'm
munch
going
your
all
whole
in.
piece?
I'm going all in.
Gotta munch your piece.
Yeah, I
I got
might
a
throw
big
up.
piece.
Where are we throwing up if we need to?
I'm right here.
I think right in front of you.
Right in my lap.
It'll be funnier that way.
Ready?
Yeah.
Dink it and sink it.
Dink it and sink it.
Ding it in, sing it.
I wouldn't say it's good.
No, me neither.
If you like that type of thing, maybe, but it's not bad. But the texture, big texture guy, I can't do it.
Gus is actually very upset by it.
It was $15 though. We have to eat the whole thing.
It was 50. 50.
$50.
50.
50.
I thought 15 was a lot.
Dude, I think they scammed you because you know they're doing by the pound.
Yeah.
It was frozen, right?
Mm.
Isn't it? Is it heavier when it's frozen?
No, that
Or am I
doesn't. No,
retarded?
that's. I think that might be a little bit.
I was on your side for a second.
Doesn't the water get heavier?
It gets wetter.
Okay, it's
I'm
not.
gonna
The
get-
flavor is pretty good, but I can't get over the stink.
I can't get over the texture.
The texture is a little bit like.
Oh, this is Ray's. This is Ray's. Like
Did she want
voicemail.
to? Did she want to do this?
She wanted to try it.
Oh wow. Yeah, that is bad.
That's the worst voicemail ever.
Oh man.
God, was I the only one in middle school you made your voicemail like, hello?
yeah.
This is
I remember that.
I thought it was so cool.
Ooh, it goes deep here.
Maybe in a smoothie or something.
In a smoothie, it would be excellent.
Yeah.
That's what I'll probably use the rest in a smoothie or something.
I have to convince myself it's a delicacy.
It's supposed to last a couple of days in the refrigerator.
Okay.
I have to convince myself it's a delicacy.
What are the health benefits though?
Let me look it up.
Ooh, look at this. This is a nice looking piece though, right
That
here.
is. It looks like a piece of chicken.
See that?
Let's see what it's got. Improves digestive health, prevents cardiovascular disease, maintains blood sugar levels, regulates blood pressure levels, helps in weight gain. What does that mean? It helps you gain.
Bulking season.
Bolsters immunity and metabolism, lowers cancer risk, strengthens bones and joints. It's like the miracle fruit,
I'm going
but
in
it
right
stinks.
now. I'm going
Probably
in right now.
why we've never heard of it.
There's whole cities, I think, and like airlines, mostly airlines, I think. You're not allowed to open these on the planes.
Oh.
It's like a specific rule because too many
Yeah.
people were eating them.
I wonder where does it come from?
Durian, let me see. Edible fruit of several tree species belonging to the genus Durio. There are 30 recognized Durio species. At least 9 produce edible fruit. Native to Borneo and Sumatra.
Do you smell it? Come on, Ray. I've got a piece just for you. Ray, digestive health.
Okay, yeah.
Alright.
We got Ray back on the pod.
It does smell
What's up?
kind of smelly.
Ew, why is it like a...
Eat it. Whole thing.
Mm-mm. Oh!
Ooh, yeah.
Ew, look what it looks like.
Oh, that's nasty. That is nasty.
Nasty good.
Is it as bad as the thick water experience?
Thick water's got to be worse.
Oh, I don't, you coughed right on me.
That's bad. The texture.
Look, it looks like scrambled eggs mixed
Yeah.
with like
Powdered
cottage
scrambled
cheese.
eggs.
Gus won't stop eating it. But do you know how much this cost? Did I tell you?
Yes, you told me.
$50. Oh, dude, being like the health guru I am, I eat stuff that doesn't taste good, just because it's like good
Healthy.
for you.
Yeah.
But this is like, it's just a little bit too like, it's like a whipped cream texture.
It's
But like,
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm gonna get another bite of this.
yeah, get in there, get this guy right
Yeah,
there.
I kind of want another piece. Maybe I didn't get a good evaluation.
It's
Yeah,
got.
get
I
that
got
guy.
some of this. Oh.
Oh, everything.
Oh, I got a piece of the seed. What is that?
I ate the seed.
You ate the
I
seed?
ate the seed.
Everything about this is horrible.
Oh.
Wait, when I cut it open, I was like, it's the closest I've been to throwing up in a while.
That's
When I cut it open, I was like,
I'm not gonna.
That was a
say
bad
that.
piece. I had to just swallow. There was no chewing.
I thought it was supposed to be super delicious.
They've been brainwashed.
Yeah.
Oh, that piece was very difficult for me.
Oh.
The first piece was definitely better.
The first piece.
It could be one of those things that's like genetically changed.
I gotta
so maybe
reset.
like a
What do you
one from the area that it comes from might taste better.
That yeah. Like if you
Because-
actually pick one off one of these trees.
Because when we went to Puerto Rico, where my girlfriend's family lives, they
Yep.
had a bunch of plantain and banana trees like right out back.
Ooh.
And I went and picked a banana.
Yeah.
I don't like bananas. That was the best banana I've ever had. It was amazing.
What the
It was so
Yeah,
different.
because you can't grow. Where do you can only grow bananas in like South America, right?
Right.
Yeah, and well, Puerto Rico is like kind of in between.
Yeah.
But I've heard the bananas that we eat today aren't even actual bananas. They've just been changed so much.
Really?
Yeah,
Like,
aren't
yeah,
regular bananas like tiny and
yeah,
they made them all big?
yeah. The ones I ate were like big. They weren't as like long. It was weird. They were great.
They were the chode bananas.
I think about that banana all the time because I don't like the bananas that you get from the store.
I had a dream when I was young one time that I had a banana and it was like the grossest banana I ever had and I couldn't eat real bananas in real life for like months after that. And I like bananas.
Yeah, I've
Oh, I
never really
gotta-
like
this
bananas
is-
unless they're like in a smoothie or something. I think it's time to try this hard sweet tea.
Yeah, Bojangles, delicious Bowberry hard sweet tea.
So yeah, Griffin. We didn't actually introduce you.
Oh yeah, I'm Griffin.
This is
You didn't know.
Griffin. GSteel, the infamous
GSteel.
GSteel.
Steel.
Yes, sir.
GSteel. When did you come up with that?
So, okay, it was in middle school. I didn't even come up with it. It was just like a little group of friends, and we were like, all right, we're going to take like the first letter of our name,
Yeah.
and then like the last letter of our name, and then like eel, kind of like, you know, like I was G Steel.
Yeah.
My friend Alec, he's A Hilly. Well, it was G Steely,
Yeah.
A Hilly, and J Millie. So, yeah.
That's kind of tight.
But
That's kind
it
of
just stuck. And then I got
Yeah.
to high school, and my good friend E-Man, I'm sure you know him,
Mhm.
he started calling me G Steel, and I was like, that's a little bit cooler. So I just kind of
Yeah.
GSteel.
G Steely.
Because your last name is Stanley.
Yeah.
So it
People
kind of
always,
works
like,
out.
If they didn't really know me, they would think my last name was Steele.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
G
So
Steel.
like, it kind of came back around because I know J Millie kind of just brushed it off, and then like now he goes by J Mill. So it's just
Ooh.
like, yeah. Kinda
So
came
what would
around.
mine be? I'd be
G Steel.
G Steel.
We got two G Steels.
up? You know what I mean?
G Steel.
G Steel and T Chill.
T Chill. T Chill.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm having flashbacks to this durian.
Oh, yeah, pop it.
Okay. Yeah, so GSteel
Ugh.
texts me and he's like, should I bring some beer? And I was like, you don't have to, but people have brought kind of just interesting beers in the past. So he shows up with Bojangles hard seltzer.
I saw it.
Is it even
on-
cold yet?
No, it's not hard seltzer. It's hard
Well, yeah, it
sweet
was already
tea.
cold.
Oh, it was?
I saw ads for this and I was like, it's got to be a joke. There's
It's-
no way Bojang was released.
It's
Sweet tea.
That could get
5%.
nuts at the tailgate.
Steeped like we meant it. It would go nuts at the
Yeah, because
tailgate.
I mean, it makes me think of Twisted Tea, which I do not like.
Yeah.
But since Bojangles, has good sweet tea, I figured maybe this is actually good.
Oh, sorry.
Open it up.
That's my bad. I'm distracted because we got a March Madness game going on.
Oh yeah, read the score off?
We're up. Michigan State 14 to Marquette 3.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like we're.
March
Whoa!
Madness.
That is weird.
You tried it before we cheersed.
Sorry, my.
That's crazy.
No, it's on my.
Cheers,
that's
cheers,
on
cheers.
me.
All right. Oh. I don't hate it. Especially
it's-
after the durian. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I like that
I
it
don't
says
hate it.
legendary on it.
But I
Where
don't
did
know that
mine-
I'm gonna go to the store and say, "Hey, I'm getting Bojangles sweet tea."
I don't think I would get it. But if they had it at Bojangles, I would
Oh.
be getting
They-
it.
They brew it at the Appalachian Mountain Brewery. Which is interesting.
It's not. It
weird.
actually doesn't. It's not that bad actually, and it is.
Yeah, it's
it
definitely
does.
better than Twisted Tea.
You can taste the hard in it.
Yeah, I definitely can taste the brown liquor in there.
Yeah. Like usually with like Twisted Teas or like any of the seltzers, you can't really
Yeah.
taste the alcohol.
Well, the carbonation helps mask that. I don't know. Twisted teas aren't carbonated though, are they?
I think they are.
I don't
I don't think
think
they are.
so.
Never mind. Sorry.
Caffeinated. 'Cause it's tea.
Twisted.
Are they really
tea.
caffeinated?
I'm assuming if it's actual tea, but like a light caffeination.
Yeah.
Twisted tea is refreshingly smooth, hard iced tea made with real brewed black tea and a twist of natural lemon flavor. Non-carbonated.
So it's not a
5%.
sweet tea. It's
So
just
that's
like a
why those
lemon
girls
tea.
get so crazy off that because it's caffeine in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go
Oh my
hard
God.
off the twisted teas.
The
The tweez.
tweez.
The tweez.
the tweez. Yeah, definitely not a fan. Well, the Bojangles is good.
The only people who like twisted teas, I feel like, are girls and people who don't like beer.
Yeah, the same people that drink Seagrams and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so we've got through both the surprises. For some reason, the smell is wafting bad now. I'm just getting
like it?
overwhelmed
Do you like
by
it?
that. No. The smell is getting worse.
See that cream on there?
Yeah, I see the cream. The last bite I had, for some reason, the first bite, I don't know if I just hyped myself up more. It went down kind of fine.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought. And then
Yeah.
the second bite, I almost puked. I had
the
like,
same experience. I don't know what it was.
Get up on it. Smell it. Get like it doesn't.
it's gonna make me gag.
Yeah.
It's not gross, but it's reminding me of eating it. It's not
different.
gross.
It's
it doesn't.
different.
It doesn't
Everyone
smell.
get up on it. Get him on it. Get up on it.
It doesn't smell like.
It does not smell bad.
It doesn't smell
No. I
bad.
wouldn't say
That
it
like
smells
getting
bad.
up really close to it doesn't smell bad, but like the waft that
The
it makes.
waft
It's like the closer you
stinks.
get, yeah.
And then eating it. It's not gross. It's not gross. The texture is super weird. It's like a loose banana.
It's almost like but it's like got this outside like gelatin feel, and then once you start chewing it, it's like mush.
It like makes my hair stand up.
It's like if
It's
you
so
made.
weird.
It's like if you made mashed potatoes and you left them on the counter for 2 days.
Oh.
That's what the
Or,
texture.
like throw a little bit of gelatin in there.
Yeah.
Like,
Jello. You make.
I think it
you
would
make,
be good in a smoothie.
You mixed instant mashed potatoes with Jello mix.
Ew.
And then you just make mashed potatoes as per usual, and
then
then
you fart in the bowl. And that's
That's so.
you guys gotta add the bruh.
bruh. We only have.
What is
What is this one? Oh, I forgot.
Classic.
And then we got
you,
the.
you forgot, bro.
I forgot about my crotch. I wish we had more buttons. I can get a soundboard and wired it in. Wired it in.
There's gotta be an app for that.
Yeah, and I can connect my phone up. I need to get the cable. And we can get the phone, or we can take Avery's iPad.
That'd be clutch.
Bubs. Does the pod doesn't even know she's called Bubs? I don't think.
Bubs.
Everybody calls her Bubs. Here, like all her family and stuff,
Yeah.
and then everybody I know separately calls her Avery.
Yeah.
So it's like this weird translate thing I have to do. And if she hears me saying Avery, she gets upset.
Yeah.
She's like, who?
Because I know her
Who?
as Avery.
Yeah.
'Cause the only place I know her from is
Yeah.
Jersey Mike's. So we weren't calling her Bubs back then, but
When I first started dating her, ew, that burp tasted just like that. You're eating more of the durian? He's starting to
secretly
like
likes
it. He's starting to like it.
He is durian.
Yeah.
You have to be one with the durian.
He's the reason we chugged the freaking thick water.
Oh, it is. It's just gross, but I like it.
My lips are getting warm. I don't know if it's the durian or
Or the cat.
alcohol.
Or the alcohol.
Maybe all three.
He's allergic to the entire situation.
Your lips are getting warm.
Yeah.
Is that a?
It's like
That's
I think
something
it is
that
the
happened?
durian. I don't know. Like a slight.
We found the fruit that he's the most allergic to. It's durian.
No
I hope
shot.
He started saying that. He started saying, I'm allergic to a lot of different fruits. And I was like, oh no. I was like,
Freaking took it like a
I
champ.
was thinking about the fruit that I had hidden behind the couch. And I'm like, he's going to be allergic
Oh,
to
shit.
it.
That would suck. I mean, now that we're thinking about it, my lips are getting itchy and stuff, but that would be a great experience, though.
We do the pod where the guest just has a histamine reaction.
30 minutes long. Gotta go to the hospital.
You know, I got some great advice one time. Like, if you have a problem, if you ignore it long enough, it'll go away. And so that's
Facts
just
right there.
how I live my
Yeah.
life.
Just bury it.
My lips are on fire right now. Like, just
Yeah.
Bury it deep
Ignore
down.
it.
Bury it deep down.
It's like you're getting harassed sexually. Ignore it.
Yeah, yeah.
why even dwell on it?
Don't
Just
even
yeah.
not
your life.
Yeah, just like kind of
Nah, but
it'll
it's-
go away, you know.
Because I remember when this was occurring, like, I had this crazy back pain, and I was doing this hard physical labor, and my boss, I was like, dude, my back is hurting. And he's like, just ignore it.
Yeah, he's like, what are you doing?
So
Ignore
I
it.
ignored it, and it went away.
There's this thing where you can start to get way too hyper focused on a problem, and then you can't stop thinking about
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I read this book that it took me so long to get through this book. It's called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. It's written in like the early like the 60s. I think it was written in the 60s, and it's a philosophy book disguised as like a story. So it's old enough that it's written very properly. Or it's just written really well. It's a good book,
Yeah.
but it took me so long to get through because once I had started it,
How long exactly?
it took me like I think 9 months.
Mm.
It was almost a year because I didn't want to read it, but I didn't want to read a new book. I didn't want to start a new book. I wanted to get through it. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to finish it. And but there's this whole thing about how they were riding. It was in the story. It's him, the guy who's writing the story, and his son riding a motorcycle, and they're riding out with their two friends who are his age, like, you know, middle age, and they are upset because it's too hot. They're riding through a state that's just super hot, and they just have this horrible time the whole time. And he makes this realization that the actual thing that's bothering them is thinking about how hot it is,
Yeah.
not the actual heat. Because
Yeah.
he was thinking about something else and just having a fine time. And they are just sitting there dwelling on the fact that it's way too hot. And that's the reason they're having the bad time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of it. If you're sitting there thinking about how bad your back hurts,
Yeah.
It's going to.
It might have come off as a joke, but it
Yeah.
low-key actually works.
Yeah.
Like, same with the cold. I know it can get so cold that you can't stand it, but like, you just try to forget that it's cold.
Yeah.
And focus on what you're actually doing. Because I
There-
got the same advice from another coworker later down the road, like years later, a couple years back, when we were in Indiana, I think it was. In the middle of winter, it was like 20 degrees, but the wind chill was like -6. In the middle of a field, snowing, but like the snow is going literally parallel to the ground.
Snowing
It's raining
sideways.
So bad. And like, I'm cold as fuck. Like, I'm wearing everything you can think of. I got hand warmers in my boots. I got 5 jackets on, and then you have my coworker wearing a hoodie.
yeah.
I'm like, how are you not cold? And he's like, you're thinking about it too much. I'm like, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm just a bitch. Like, and he's just thugging it out with a hoodie on. Like,
That is awesome.
That's
You're
facts,
thinking
though.
about it too much. The
I've
cold
had- yeah.
gets me.
yeah,
He'll do a Gus will do a like an ice bath after he works
yeah,
out.
nah,
I've never.
It just
done
depends on the. If I'm really down bad, like so sore,
yeah.
that's like my last ditch. Like I'll do an ice bath,
Yeah.
but that's just for like recovery purposes. I'm not doing it because I'm like mentally strong.
I know. I've heard there's a lot of benefits to that. That and like taking cold showers.
Yeah,
It's
the
just one
cold
of those
showers.
Things I'm like,
I'm so bad at it.
nah. Like, I can take like cool showers. I don't really
Yeah.
like. I don't take hot showers. I can take cool showers, but like freezing water, like,
yeah,
When it gets too cold, my breathing starts to get all messed
yeah,
up.
that,
I'm like,
that as well. Yeah.
and I have to just get out, and I start
Yeah.
like panic, like actual panic about just a cold shower.
Because it can actually induce that, like, if you
Yeah.
don't know how to breathe correctly and stuff.
the Wim Hof.
Because that's one of the things E-Man tried to get me on. Because, you know, he's all big into fitness.
Oh yeah,
Biggest dude
that
I
man
know.
is huge.
He's like, dude, one of those things you could do to, like, improve your performance and, like, health and mental health is take cold showers. I'm like, I'm cool with the way it is. I'll just keep taking my warm
It's supposed to be
showers.
Yeah.
super good
Yeah.
for you.
I mean,
But I mean-
definitely, yeah, it is, but it is like the nature of a warm shower just makes you feel so comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's definitely circumstantial. Like, if it's hot outside and I've been sweating, like, I'll take, like, a cool shower.
yeah.
But
That was
it's
weird,
supposed to
though.
help you sleep
A
better and
cool
stuff, too.
shower's like a nice cool shower on a hot day is nice,
Yeah.
but it's still probably like decently warm water
Yeah.
when you actually if you actually measured
Compared
the
to body
temperature.
temperature,
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like, if it feels cool to you, it only has to be below, like, 98 degrees.
Just barely below. Yeah.
Which is still pretty warm. Like, if it's 98 degrees outside, you're hot.
Because it's not even getting that cold, really. If you turn your water as cold as it goes, it's not getting any colder than the ground temperature. So it's going to be like, I mean, in the winter, maybe like 40.
Yeah.
Maybe at the lowest. At the absolute lowest, it's got to be 40.
Yeah. Which at my apartment now, it's like, I swear that water gets up to like 250, bro. Like, it's so hot. It's so
Yeah.
hot.
They do.
It's so probably not 250.
Even the
It comes out like
geyser.
borderline.
It comes
like
out
boiling.
just it comes out just as steam.
Yeah.
No, definitely like 150, like borderline,
Does,
like close
yeah.
to boiling.
Yeah, I think it's hot. I remember when there's like a setting on the water heaters. You just set how hot you want them to get. And I never knew that.
Word?
Yeah, so if your water's not getting hot enough, or if you're just constantly having issues with it being too hot,
Yeah.
you could just be wasting electricity.
Huh?
Yeah, there's just a
Can we
setting.
Can we do that at our place?
Yeah. You want it hotter though?
No,
Colder?
colder.
Yeah.
It gets way too hot.
Yeah, I might go do that because my shower gets. I swear, I came from a nice shower, like a decent to use shower, and now my new shower, I'm back to like how I used to be, where it's like cold,
Yeah.
lava,
Yeah.
and it
That's-
sucks,
Yeah.
dude,
That's what it
because
is, yeah.
I don't even want to take showers anymore. I swear I stink right now because I didn't want to take a shower today.
Dude, a good shower can make a huge difference in life.
That is true.
A nice,
But I can't find the right spot on the spigot to where it gets warm enough.
Yeah.
yeah. So yours is the same way.
Yeah. And then
Interesting.
like it's cool and I'm like, all right,
Well-
I want a little bit warmer. And I go, eat, and then it's like lava hot.
Your parents, the shower at your parents' house, you don't change the temperature every time.
Yeah.
You set the temperature on the little thing, and then you just crank the water on.
Yeah, dude, those are the best.
And if you move it, you can move it like an inch, and it only changes like a degree. So you have like really good control over the temperature changing. And it doesn't go to ice cold, or it does go to ice cold, but it doesn't go to like. I feel like just the good comfortable range is like a huge adjustment physically, so you can just get exactly what you want.
Yeah.
So Amazon's here.
How can you see that?
I don't know.
Amazon's in the woods?
Yeah.
Amazon
That
driving
is the
through.
Amazon.
Dude, I'm sitting here looking in the woods,
Yeah, that's
and
the Amazon.
like a mirage of
Amazon.
an Amazon truck just flew through. It's
Dude, I'm waiting for my
getting
package.
a lot brighter later. I mean,
Yeah.
I know we just had the
I was like,
we just had the
The
daylight savings time.
the final one. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's the last time they were changing the time.
Yes.
Because, like, what is the point? Like,
how do
you're
you
gonna
know
change
that?
it? I'm pretty sure that was
Are
the
we
last
on
one.
daylight savings time right now? We
I
are,
think
right?
This is the final one.
And we're
I could
staying
be, like-
on it, right? Which is
Yeah.
the good time.
I would jump for joy if this is true.
Daylight.
Because there's no need for it. And I get a week of jet lag from this crap. Like, I can't get up in the morning.
Like, you push it forward 1 hour, just 6 months later to take it back another hour.
Yeah.
If you leave it the same, then it'll do the same thing.
I know.
U.S.
I like
Senate on
only the
Tuesday.
U.S. does it. It's weird. We just want to be different so bad.
And not even all states do it. It's like some states don't do it.
It's so weird.
U.S. Senate voted.
Oh, this isn't gonna read anything. It's just gonna.
What about
play
North?
music.
Is that just...
Okay, so we have one more. So I guess
No! Why do we have one more?
Ending the
we
twice.
gain an hour. We gain an hour. That's good.
The U.S. Senate on Tuesday passed legislation that would make daylight saving times permanent starting in 2023, ending the twice annual changing of the clocks in a move promoted by supporters advocating brighter afternoons and more economic activity. The Senate approved the measure called the Sunshine Protection Act
Are you freaking kidding me?
unanimously by voice vote.
Oh my God.
Of course it was unanimous.
We bring it back to normal, and we have to make it seem like they created some sunshine.
Yeah. We're on
Protect
the
the
daylight
sun.
savings time right now, I think, right? It started.
But it said brighter afternoons, and I thought like in November is when it starts getting dark at like 5.
Is that when it
'cause
goes back?
It falls back spring ahead. So it falls back. So it's 5, and that turns into, actually, it's 4. So, so like 5 o'clock. No. Wait, this always gets me.
Like we're gonna gain an extra hour in November, but it's gonna, as a result, it's gonna get darker sooner. I always remember
Yeah.
because that's like hunting season, and I know like halfway through the season it starts getting darker earlier.
Yeah, and we just got spring ahead. So what would be 4 is now 5. So all of a sudden 5 has the brightness outside of 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, and then it's the opposite in the fall, is that
Yeah.
it gets darker by an hour. So we're on daylight saving time currently, which is the one that everybody wants.
Yeah.
Is this time we're on right now?
So
Yeah.
why are we switching it again? in
I don't
November?
know. That's the dumbest thing.
Because it threw me off because they said they want to save or like have more bright afternoons, which is kind of the opposite.
Which is this one. It sound like
It's so-
just
like-
absolutely.
Let him
It's
know
so
I want
dumb
more
that it's
sun.
confusing us.
One more sun.
I'm a simple guy. I want to see 5 p.m. and I want to see the daylight outside. That's it.
We could just not change our clocks and just
Just refuse.
do
We
whatever
boycott
want.
it.
Yeah, like,
I'm
nah.
boycotting in my car.
Like,
No
You didn't
shot.
change your
No.
car yet?
No.
That okay? Do you change your car time?
sometimes like probably like 3 months later, I'm like,
See-
I'm
Yeah.
tired of looking at this.
I will change it the second it's wrong because it is so much extra work for me to think about that it's an hour off for whatever reason. I just can't do it.
yeah.
So and I have like my boss. He's got 2 clocks in his car. He drives a Cadillac, so he's got one of the like analog clock and the clock on his radio.
Yeah.
And they're both set differently, and they're both set wrong. And I'm like, "What time is it?" I'm so mad.
Yeah.
And I set. We went on like this long trip, and I set both of his clocks right. And then we went on another trip after daylight savings time was off, and I'm like, oh.
They're wrong again.
I'm like, they're wrong again. And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been since last time you said it. I'm like, what the hell?
Mine's like, I think I did change it because most of the time, like the updated ones, they just have like a checkbox. You can do like daylight savings time, and it'll just change
Yeah.
it for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
But mine's like a few minutes off, which
Oh.
It's like I just trust the phone so much. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
The phone keeps up with the time so well.
yeah,
You don't ever have to think about it.
like in real time too. Like when you go through different time zones, it'll change.
Yeah.
It's like
You don't even
Yeah.
notice it.
crazy.
The phone, the amount of stuff that the phone takes off of our mind that we don't have to think about is crazy.
Yeah. So underappreciated. I mean, I appreciate my phone very much, but probably still not enough.
Yeah. But at the same time, I have such a problem with my phone. I can't leave without
I
it.
do
I
too.
can't.
Yeah.
Like,
The reels, bro. They suck me in for so
Instagram reels.
long.
Bad, bro.
we all struggle
TikTok.
like the reels
I got
It's
on.
like
on the freaking pot for 45 minutes. Your legs go numb.
What are you saying?
Because I'll be scrolling on TikTok and I'll be like, dude, I need to get off of TikTok. I get off TikTok, I go to Instagram and start scrolling.
Right. I will get my
Get off
phone
Instagram
out.
and go to YouTube.
I'll be like working on something and I need to get some kind of like spec for it, right?
Yeah.
And so I go to Google it and I pull my phone out and I open Instagram and then I start scrolling and I scroll like 2 videos and I'm like, what am I doing? Like I took my phone out to look something up that I need to do. I'm in the middle of a project. And I just took my phone out, and now all of a sudden I'm scrolling through Instagram Reels.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one.
It
I even,
freaks
like-
me out.
I took the extra measure to like put the limit on it, you know? Like
I have that limit.
1 hour day. But I'm so good at speed running that like
I speed run the limit. I speed run the limit. It brings up the limit, and it cuts out the audio on the reel, and I'm like so mad.
get out of here. I need to finish this video. Like
I set mine to like 15 on Reddit and Instagram because those were my 2 worst apps, and I
15 minutes?
ignore 15 minutes a
A
day.
day?
I ignore it.
Wow.
I ignore
that's
it.
almost nothing.
Yeah, I got
That's
mine on an
why.
hour.
That's
It's,
unrealistic expectations right
True,
there.
you're right. I should set it higher.
Yeah, you should go like an hour for Instagram and like 30 minutes for
And
Reddit.
actually listen to
Nobody
it. 'Cause I
needs to
don't-
be on Reddit. You should just delete Reddit.
I learned so much stuff on Reddit because I'm on very specific things that I'm interested in.
yeah,
So-
Reddit is good.
Yeah.
If you're there for the right
You
reasons.
gotta, if you get on Reddit, you have to delete all of the subreddits that it automatically signs you up to.
Yeah.
And then sign up only to the ones you like. And if you find yourself getting angry in a subreddit, delete it
Yeah.
from your thing. Because you will. Because some of them are just so horrible. It's just like scum of the earth in that subreddit.
And people
This-
really have no limit on on the internet.
No, they do not.
just go
Especially
nuts.
Reddit. They will. Pisses me off. This hard sweet tea is catching up to me a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it, and I'm
feeling it.
sucking it down too.
It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not upset about it at all.
I could see myself buying it again.
I didn't really say it, but I saw somebody saying it wasn't good, and I disagree with them.
Yeah, I do.
Who said it?
I will
I don't
say,
remember.
because like you both like sweet tea, right?
Yeah.
Like actual sweet tea.
Yeah.
When I go buy like a Lipton sweet tea or something,
Mm-hmm.
which I rarely ever do, it's sweet tea, but it's not like southern.
It doesn't
sweet
taste
tea.
like Southern sweet tea.
I will
yeah.
say this tastes like that type of sweet tea. It doesn't taste like you put alcohol in your Bojangles
Yeah.
sweet tea, but it's
Yeah.
still good.
You're saying that it doesn't taste like real Southern sweet tea.
Yeah, which could just be a result of alcohol being added. I've never
It
poured
might be.
alcohol in my Bojangles sweet tea.
Gosh, I dated a girl who was like a real like Southern person for a little bit, and her house always had a like gallon of fresh like brewed sweet
Yeah.
tea. They would put it on a big pot on the stove, brew it with a bunch of things, put so much sugar in it,
Dude, yeah.
and they would always have some, always, and it was
And-
always they made it.
It's
And it
I
was
love
good.
sweet tea, but when you're on the making end of sweet tea, you're like, I should not be drinking.
No,
this.
you shouldn't.
Yeah,
This
you
is like
shouldn't
the
drink
tea
it.
sugar.
with my sugar.
Yeah.
Like, especially at Jersey Mike's.
Oh my
When you're
god.
open in the morning and you're making the sweet tea.
Yeah.
I could not believe
The recipe, like,
Yeah.
what was it? 2 cups.
How
of that?
much
It
we
was
were
so
dumping in
much.
there.
It was
and
so much.
And Amanda would be like, yo, like, nah, this is how you make good sweet tea. And she'd do like the whatever, and then it'd be like half another scoop.
Oh!
That's how you
Damn.
make it good.
She
And I'm
would
like,
put extra
it
in.
does make it good, but oh my god! And just looking at the calories on this, 270 per can.
Damn.
That's a lot. I mean, beer is bad enough
That
itself.
is a
That's
lot.
just
How much sugar is
33,
in there?
33
How much-
grams.
33. 36 grams of carbs. It's only 30 milligrams of sodium. No protein.
Ain't no salt in
God,
there.
I'm burping.
Filtered
Awesome.
water.
Fruit.
Yeah, but I do like the I actually really like the ingredients though.
It's got the tea twang.
It's filtered water, cold fermented cane sugar, liquid
Wow,
cane
yeah, that's
sugar,
it.
black tea, and malted rice.
I gotta respect
That's a very respectful
respect
ingredients
it, yeah.
list because you can take a lot of sugar. I think, which I could be wrong. I'm not some kind of nutritionist or
Yeah.
whatever. I think you could take a lot of sugar, especially like just cane sugar, over like extra xylodose or whatever they put in all this
Yeah.
stuff. All those weird chemicals that you don't even know the words of it.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
cheaper.
Good rule of thumb: if you can read everything that's in the ingredients list, like
True,
you're doing
true,
better
You're
than
doing
most.
good.
I'd rather just like dry scoop sugar every day than eat some of this stuff that I actually eat. Like
honestly, like our deli meat and stuff. Have you read that?
No, I don't want to.
Read it, bro. I bought some today.
Yeah.
Because like I used to always think about that at Jersey Mike's. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so fresh.
People
They
think
slice
it's
it right
healthy.
in front of you, but I'm like, how do they get this turkey into
you
this shape?
You remember us unpackaging it
come
like
on.
the hams, bro? They were
The
like the
turkey jelly,
squares,
bro?
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
rectangles.
The turkey jelly, bro.
You would
Yeah.
I would slap that turkey
Oh,
so
yeah.
hard, and all the little like holes in the
pockets of
turkey
jelly.
would just this gelatinous stuff would
I don't
just fly
I don't
out.
understand. Was
It's
that like
not
the
gross.
preservative or something?
Yeah, like you don't want to have air in the container, right?
Yeah,
and you
so
don't
they
want to
put
have
jelly in
you don't
it.
want to have water because it's not going to fill the holes in the air. So it's probably just gelatin, which is in almost everything.
Yeah.
So it's not actually that gross.
And
But, like,
we wash it off. We
It
wash
could just be like, all the turkey is pulverized and shaped into this shape.
Oh, it for sure is because it's not going to be
Yeah.
shaped like that with
Yeah.
no bones in it.
Nah.
No,
It's just like
they
potted
shape it.
meat, like-
They shape it like a turkey breast, but it doesn't have like ribs in it.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that's a super unnatural shape.
Yeah.
That's why I used to love the roast beef.
The
until
roast
they
beef
started-
pops
Mm.
off.
Dude.
Wait, do they pre-make it
They
now?
pre-make it now.
Yeah.
What?
Ever since COVID, they started like pre-cooking it and sending it like that.
Oh, that sucks.
That's so funny. You also worked at Jersey Mike's. So many of us worked at
Dude,
Jersey
yeah.
Mike's, dude.
That's how we all met, really.
Yeah.
I remember like the first time I really like talked to Gus was at the Serve Safe.
Serve safe.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Which I should not have been Serve Safe certified. I was guessing on that test.
I was too.
I mean, I knew my stuff, but I'm just not good at test taking.
I remember when the inspector would come in, and in North Carolina, the like health and safety inspections for restaurants are super. They're very anal about everything. They
Yeah.
want everything to be good. But it was so nerve wracking when that person would come in,
Yeah.
and you'd be like, "Oh no!" And you'd be like calling everyone on staff that
Yeah.
was Serve Safe certified. Because you were technically supposed to have somebody that was Serve Safe certified there at every
Yeah.
opening. Like if the store was open, there had to be somebody there.
Deli, yes, yeah.
And
one
if
I remember-
not, it was automatically like a point or two.
A huge
Yeah.
Yeah.
cut, and we would call somebody and be like,
Yeah.
"Get here as fast
Right
as you
now."
can." I'm pretty sure one time, like one of us, it wasn't me. One of us said we were the person on the Serve Safe thing,
That's clutch.
and it worked. But it was dumb. Like,
I mean, let's be honest. Like, some of the things I saw there at Timber Drive, we should have been sitting at like a 74.
You should have been sitting in
but
jail.
at the same time, I would eat there any day.
Yeah, yeah.
I have no issue
As
with
far
it.
as like food safety, yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
we
But there
were careful about it, but the thing is, the stuff that actually counts against you on the scoring is like, oh, this sink doesn't get warm enough to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And I'm not waiting for the sink to warm up to wash my hands. I've got a line out the door. I'm
Yeah.
trying to just make some
Yeah, and
sandwiches.
I've washed my hands 14 times.
Yeah,
so, like,
and then if it's not washed, you're wearing gloves.
exactly.
It's just so weird. I think you should go back a couple steps. Like, why do we wear gloves?
Yeah.
Just make the freaking food. I don't.
wash your
I
hands
don't
often.
put gloves on when I make my own sandwich,
Yeah.
and there's never been an issue. And
The only thing is like under the fingernails. That's the only thing I think about. But if you go
Yeah.
look at a 5-star Michelin restaurant, they're not wearing gloves.
no,
No.
no.
They're just
Nah,
going
the
bare
Michelin
hand.
restaurants.
Yeah,
I just learned about that.
The Michelin star stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
crazy that a tire company is like putting their stamp
For
on
real.
stuff.
they were trying to make people drive because
Yeah.
they were trying to sell more tires.
all right, I really got to pee. I don't know about y'all.
Okay,
All
I'll
right.
pay. I'll pay as well. I'll pay as well.
I hate to be able to break the seal.
Dude, I'm just glad it's not me this time. I'm always the one who has to pee every single time.
Dude, I remember what you guys were out there about, like the health inspectors coming in.
Dude.
One time we had we took one of the pickle buckets, the 5-gallon buckets.
Yeah.
We filled it up with like brine and water, and then we put a bunch of loaves of bread in there and a
Ew.
bunch of onions and tomatoes.
Why?
And we sealed it up. Bro, that baby was cooking for probably 4 months. And then
in
and
the
then-
walk-in,
No,
out,
out. It was
and-
out and
Out
about.
and about.
You're making like alcohol.
We were fermenting a lot of stuff, and the health inspector came in and didn't even ask what it was.
I never had any like health inspector situations at Jersey Mike's, but after Jersey Mike's, when I went and worked at that food truck, one of my first shifts health inspector pulls up. And like you were saying, they dock you for like non-food related things almost. Like, you know, it's a food truck, so half of the stuff is like makeshift.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
got like deep freezers in there, and because they're not a certain brand, docked a point.
What?
Water doesn't get hot enough, docked a point. Well, like, we were down bad, bro. And I was
Really?
like, I'm ServSafe certified. And they're like, go tell the motherfucker, like, because that'll save us from like 2 points.
Yeah.
So I
Go
saved us
tell
from
'em.
like getting a horrible score just because I was ServSafe. But yeah, it was just because like certain, I don't know, they deep freezer because it wasn't a certain brand. Like, it's weird
That's
what they'll dock you
crazy.
for.
I remember they docked us because our lights weren't bright enough. And it's
That
not
is
like
crazy.
But it's not like it was dark in there.
Yeah.
It was like you could
Yeah.
see everything.
Yeah.
And they came out with this little device and they're like, yeah, your lights are
Oh
too
my
dim,
God,
too
bro.
dim.
All I got to say is there were bigger problems at Timber Drive.
Right.
I don't know if I should air it out right here, but
Nah, we won't dock them.
yeah.
Now that we said the address.
Timber Drive. Nah,
It was, one
I'll
of the
say,
things-
my standards may not be as high as a lot of people, but I've
No,
worked.
you can say. They
I've-
can't do nothing to us.
I've worked at a restaurant that I'll dox on air right now. Logan's Roadhouse in White Oak.
Oh, you worked there?
Yeah.
Is
For
that like before
a
Jersey
summer.
Mike's?
Yeah, for a summer. I worked there as a busboy. That place was so gross. I won't eat there. And it's just a regular, it's like an Applebee's. I probably wouldn't eat at
Yeah.
an Applebee's. Well, I might, but
Like most, like
I
I will
might.
say, like
I might do it.
Yeah, they got that
most
2 for 20.
restaurants are that way. Like my
Yeah.
brother-in-law, he does like refrigeration and mostly like commercial type stuff for bigger restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of restaurants he will not eat at anymore. Especially Cheesecake Factory. I don't know what it is, but
Really?
he was like he will never step
No.
foot in a Cheesecake Factory,
That
which I
sucks.
think is super overrated to begin with.
Yeah.
But
It's just like an experience. I like that place.
I've never had Cheesecake Factory.
Really?
I had it for the
Yeah.
first time in Hawaii, and it was amazing. And I go to the one at Crabtree, and it was mid.
Was it on the Big
Yeah.
Island?
Oahu.
I don't know what that is. I
I
guess
think
I
that's
don't
the
know.
big one.
I guess I asked a question that was kind of out of my scope of understanding.
Wherever Waikiki Beach.
I've never been to Hawaii. I was just like, I know people ask this,
What
so I'm
part?
gonna
What
ask
part?
it. I was like, the Big Island,
Yeah.
and he said the name of the island, and I realized I got caught. I got caught because I do not know what island is which.
It's the main island, Maui.
I thought Honolulu.
Oh, that's the capital, but I don't think it. I think Honolulu is on Oahu. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, see.
I think Oahu is
I got
like
caught.
the most common.
I was trying to sound really smart.
Kona.
On the Big Island.
Which I would definitely recommend if you get the chance. Hit up Hawaii. I didn't get to stay there nearly long enough.
How long were you there?
Literally like 5 days, but it was for a good reason. So it was when my brother was in the Navy. This is actually pretty cool.
Okay.
He was in the Navy and he was like on a 9-month tour,
Yeah.
basically around the world. Like he hit Bangladesh and Dubai and all that type of stuff. So they come back and one of their last dock is in Pearl Harbor in Hawaii,
Uh-huh.
and they give you the opportunity to bring one person from your family, or like I guess a significant other, and it's called a Tiger Cruise, and you get to spend the last week of the deployment sailing from Hawaii to San Diego. So I met him in Hawaii,
Damn.
hopped on the aircraft carrier.
That is.
Oh, that's
shit.
insane.
That's super
it was
sick.
bro. Like, I couldn't imagine living like that for 9 months. I'm
Yeah.
sure they amped it up a little bit for the guests because they weren't like out there shooting missiles and shit. Which, I take that back. They weren't shooting missiles at people, but they did a whole air show
Really?
over the ocean, like
Really?
letting the guns off and like shooting cannons. And
And you're just
how-
watching all this?
Yeah. Which I'm so upset because I had like my Samsung at the time, and I can't get the stuff off of it, man.
Oh.
It's crazy how they launch the planes. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, the aircraft carrier is giant. If I didn't have him, I would be lost. But, like, the way they launch the planes and then, like,
With the big,
land them,
like the big, basically rubber band,
yeah, it's like basically a
and then they catch
slingshot.
them.
And, like, what they do is, like, to land, they're, like, they're pretty much flying full speed the whole time.
Yeah.
And they have something that hooks it and
Uh-huh.
catches it. And if
And-
they miss it, they just do a loop until they catch
Yeah.
it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
It's like a small town. It's like the aircraft
so
carrier
cool.
is giant.
Yeah, they're one of the most insane things that you don't think about very
Yeah.
often. Is how we've got these little cities rolling
Yeah.
around in the ocean.
Because I went on like a Disney cruise after that, and there was like that's a giant cruise, but it wasn't a quarter.
It
of the
felt
size.
small
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah, it was crazy experience. I'm one of those things I take for granted because like not everybody gets to just go chill on a
No,
aircraft carrier.
no, not everybody. And then a lot of the people who do it are also, they're employed by
Yeah.
the,
Which
U.S.
props to them.
military.
I can't imagine spending 9 months on that thing. Which you do get to get off here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Which he stayed in Dubai, like right next to the Burj Khalifa and stuff.
cool.
That was pretty
Ooh.
sick.
I want to go to Dubai.
Yeah.
I heard that place is just, it's prosperous and free and awesome. I'd like to go visit there one time.
Yeah, and they do.
They got the dunes.
They drift the Camrys.
Drift the Camrys.
Dude, I used to love watching those videos.
Is that in Dubai?
I think
Yeah,
so. It's just in the Middle East places because they fully believe in reincarnation, so they're not scared of death like we are. We're
Maybe
scared.
they know something we don't. Like,
Yeah, they do know
Well,
something.
like we're super scared of death, so we don't do. I mean, our crazy stuff is less scary than them. Their crazy stuff is crazy.
I
Like-
try not to fear death.
Yeah, but
It's just,
I can't help it. A lot of the
Yeah.
things I love are very dangerous,
Yeah.
like motorcycles. and like my little car that I had was so stupid dangerous for no reason. You know that the Miata that I had a roll bar that the previous owner put in it,
Yeah.
and it was just at the point where the soft spot of my head could touch it.
Yeah.
So if I ever got rear-ended at like past 20 miles an hour, I was cooked.
Yeah.
Like it was it.
Veggie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I
That
just I
Miata,
like.
I never drove it or anything.
Yeah.
I rode in it like one time, but I missed it. Bro.
I have
It
a
was
video
one of the
of
greatest
you
cars.
in it. You're
the
like,
donuts?
yeah, and I'm like, I'm just sitting there like trying hard.
Oh, that was a great day.
That-
Those donuts.
That car was so much fun, and I do miss it, but at the same time, I sold that car for 3 reasons. First is because I wasn't driving it.
Yeah.
I had it under the cover, just parked, because it was just, there was all these like annoying things. It was hard to start kind of in the winter, and it was just, there was so much aftermarket stuff with it. I was just worried about something going wrong, and I didn't have the money to fix it. 2, the market was going insane for used cars, and I already had my pickup truck, so I didn't need it for transportation. So I was like, this is what I told myself when I bought it, is it could be an investment. So this is the point where, well, now it is.
Yeah.
So I can sell it. And then 3rd, it didn't blow up yet, and I didn't crash it yet. So
Yeah.
it was successful. The whole venture was
Yeah.
successful because I didn't blow up and I didn't crash it. It had all this aftermarket stuff done to it that could, like, it could pretty easily blow up. And I just didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah. I honestly can't say I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you for selling
Because
it.
you had a car that did blow up.
Yeah. And it ruined it for me. Like, knowing, I mean, I should have known buying a Subaru that's modified.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
God, looking back on it, I was so dumb.
That was
To
so
even buy the
fun, though.
car.
That was so fun. I
But
remember
the
we all
experience-
rode out there.
Yeah, dude. It
We
was
we all rode out to some bank or something.
in freaking Kinston or something.
Kinston, North Carolina. We all rode out there.
Yeah.
Like everybody rode out there,
Everybody.
and your dad rode out there and
Yeah.
stuff. We were all driving separate stuff, and then Adam drove the car back
'Cause
because
I didn't know
he
how
didn't
to
know how to drive
drive
stick.
Oh, God.
Oh
Dude, but
my
yeah,
god.
looking back, I was so dumb to even buy that car. Because you know what the crazy part is? When I bought the car,
Yeah.
it had a check engine light on.
Oh.
But the guy had convinced me that it was like some.
Some little thing.
But it low key, like, he was like, here's how you solve it. You, like, undo the gas thing, let it sit for like 5 minutes, and then tighten it really tight. And it would work. Like, that would cause the check engine light to go off.
Oh,
and then
okay.
a couple years later, I sent a rod through the block, and it's like,
Oh, that was it.
It wasn't the gas thing at all.
yeah.
Well, we
I
have
appreciate
a
the car for the experience, but like after blowing it up, it ruined it for me. Like I was scared to drive it after that. Like, just felt like it was just gonna blow at any point.
Yeah.
we've got another friend who's been on here, Will. He drives I think it's around like a 2013 hatchback
Yeah.
WRX.
Yeah.
And he blew a motor.
Yeah.
Stock.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2. Didn't you blow 2 of them?
I
Is he
think
not a set or the 3rd?
it's possible.
Dude,
It's
there
possible
were-
he had like a smaller issue. I don't think he fully blew 2, but maybe he did.
Yeah.
There was like a lawsuit going on, like a class action, because like the FA20s, the one that's in like the 2015 and up,
Yeah.
were blowing up before 100K stock.
What the
It's
heck?
just- which my brother was explaining this to me. Like the boxers, the pistons go
Side to side, they're
horizon.
horizontally opposed.
Horizontally, yeah. And like just over time, gravity it wears it down because the piston is. And slowly that can just cause problems. Like even if it's just the weight of itself, it slowly is just.
That is really bizarre.
That's what I've always said about the WRX and just kind of Subarus in general with the Boxer style engine is they are probably one of the coolest cars, the coolest like Japanese tuner cars you could buy. If they were reliable, they would be the perfect car.
Dude, yeah.
But they're just not reliable.
I love them to death, but I know I probably will not buy another one. And if I do, it's stay in stock for sure.
Yeah.
I would probably get an STI and leave it stock. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to steer away from that. I'm trying to convince myself to not go buy a... I'm definitely not buying a Subaru, but I've been thinking about the Type R.
The Civic?
Really?
Yeah. I just can't get over the fact that it's front-wheel drive.
I don't like the front-wheel drive.
I do not like it at all.
But then what are you going to do otherwise? You're going to go to like a Golf R or a M2. Right now, the Golf R is super high price. So you could get one of those M2 competitions, the BMW.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from
that's
Beamers, too.
expensive. But right now, the Golf R is up there, which it shouldn't be. It's up there in that price.
Which I'm trying to keep myself away from like just sports cars in general. I would love to just go get like a nice truck, but nice trucks are.
Oh, I want a nice.
What
truck.
about that Bronco? Is that yours or is that your dad's?
It was my dad's, but he sold it. He sold it back to my nephew. So
it's gone.
Dude, my dad got it for a steal. He got that thing for like $3,500.
What year was that car?
It was a '93. Damn. Exactly like OJ's, like same model. It looked like it too. And that's one of the things I loved about driving the Bronco is every time I'd pull up, it's like, OJ. But God, I love that truck. He bought it for like $3,500, sold it to my brother. He painted it, did a lot of stuff to it. Because when he bought it, it had like, I guess there had been sap on it, and like when they picked it off, it like took the paint with it.
Yeah, that stuff's
just on the
horrible.
hood and the
Super
top.
acidic.
Yeah, so my brother got it painted. Did a little stuff like a leveling kit, this and that. Put some rims on it. Bought it back for my brother. We had it for a while. I don't think my dad drove it more than 30 minutes the whole time he owned it. I drove that thing religiously.
I know you were constantly driving that thing. Was that thing? Is it fuel injected or carbureted?
No.
You pop the hood. It's got a big circle in it, or no?
No, it doesn't have a circle.
Then it's fuel injected.
But, yeah, I don't think it had the original motor in it though.
Oh.
I think it was swapped at some point. But yeah, I drove it for a while, and then I stopped driving it because I didn't want to keep daily driving the Bronco. It's more like a classic.
Yeah.
That's when I bought the Camry.
The Camry.
which
That's
is
a
even more of
90s, right?
classic. Yeah, it's a 98.
98.
It just hit that classic point this year. So
What? How many miles you got on it?
the Camry?
Yeah.
Camry has 225. I just hit
Damn.
halfway there.
Halfway there, yep.
What did you get it for, if you don't mind me
Yeah, I
asking?
got it for $2,000.
That's too easy.
Well, very well taken care of.
Does
The
it
stack of
shift
papers
right?
Yeah. Well, the only little issue it has is the what's it called? It's like it's this thing in the transmission. It's like the speed sensor or something like that.
Oh.
So like occasionally, like the engine light will come on and the speedometer will go to 0. Like very occasionally, like maybe once every 3 months.
Yeah.
And that will cause it to shift weird, but other than that, it's chilling. I didn't expect much out of it for 2K.
The thing is, right now, the state of the economy, 2K is not what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
2K sounds like a lot because we're all still on like 2015, like what money was worth.
Yeah.
But right now,
Yeah.
2K is the new $500.
2K is
Yeah.
freaking cheap for a Camry.
I mean, it could blow up today.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even be that mad. Like,
No.
I pretty much just got it to take the load off of the Bronco
Yeah.
because I didn't want to, because it didn't even hit 100,000 yet, and I was trying to avoid, wearing the Bronco out. It's not one of those things that you need to drive every day.
No.
But now my nephew has it. He is brilliant for his age, especially, and he's taking good care of it. He's gonna fix it up.
Is he the one I met the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, when we were putting the sub in, I need you to
Yeah.
hear that sub, dude. The Camry bumps.
Does it really?
It bumps.
I want to hear it before
a
we leave.
budget setup. I'm talking like plastic head unit from Amazon, Chinese, Chinese head unit from Amazon.
I was gonna ask you about that.
12.
Yeah. Does that head unit work all right?
Dude, it bumps. Yeah,
Dang.
it works.
Does it feel super Chinese or is it pretty nice?
Kind of.
Does it have CarPlay?
Yeah, it has CarPlay.
Damn.
That's the reason I bought it.
No
Yeah,
way.
it has CarPlay. But I don't really use it much because I really only drive from my apartment to work.
Yeah.
And then if I do anything else, I usually just take my girlfriend's car. But it bumps.
That's the thing,
Almost
right?
too hard.
I have when I put miles on my truck, when I really start racking up miles on my truck, first of all, it's expensive to drive.
Yeah.
Because it gets decent mileage for a truck. It gets like 14, 15.
That's another thing about the Bronco. But what were you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, so I just feel kind of bad putting too many miles on it because I want it to last a really long time.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to have a car payment. I just really want to avoid that. But the bike, I will put miles on the bike and be happy about it.
Yeah.
Like when I'm racking up miles on the bike, I'm like, wow, this is me riding it. It's like exciting to put
is,
miles on the
yeah.
bike,
Dude,
but
I
it's
forgot you even
not.
had a bike.
It's not exciting to put miles on the truck. I feel
Yeah.
bad. I'm like, oh, I want it to be lower. But on the bike, I'm like, let's bring this baby to 100,000. Let's see if we can do it.
What are you at now on the bike?
10.
Okay.
And when I got it, it was at 45.
Yeah. Which I know for a bike, like 10 is pretty like. What is a bike's life expectancy?
So okay. It depends on the type of bike, but I'm talking about like a metric cruiser. So a Japanese cruiser, which is probably the most common motorcycle in North America. It's the Japanese cruiser. Just like your Honda Shadow, like Adam has.
Yeah.
Your Kawasaki Vulcan. Kawasaki, Honda, Suzuki. Am I missing any? The metric bikes? Doesn't
I
matter.
don't think so. No.
Doesn't matter. Those, when they hit 10K.
Yamaha.
Yeah, Yamaha.
Yamaha.
When they hit 10K is when they've been ridden, and then 10K is the point where if somebody's taking care of it, it's nothing.
Yeah.
But past that, if they're not taking care of it, it can start to go downhill pretty
Yeah.
quick. Like if they're not doing regular oil changes, they're not making sure the valves are perfectly adjusted, they're not, replacing certain stuff. Stuff can start to go downhill pretty quick. But some of those metric bikes will get up to 100,000.
Yeah.
100,000 is like the 500,000 of a car.
Yeah.
Like if you get a bike to 100,000, that's like
insane.
insane.
Yeah. Because I know with dirt bikes, like they measure those by hours, because how often they blow up and shit.
Yeah.
And that's something I learned quickly when I bought that dirt bike I had. which
He had
is
a
another
KDX,
thing.
Really?
KDX 200, yeah. Actually, a pretty good
Oh.
bike, but I shouldn't have bought it.
No.
One of the reasons I bought it was because like people were telling me you shouldn't buy it, and I was like,
Bet.
"Screw you."
Fuck him.
Yeah.
He had a KDX
I
220.
got a 220.
nice.
I just sold it.
Yeah. But yeah, when I sold that thing, I was like, phew, I'm glad I got rid of it. But another one, like it's one of those experiences, like the Subaru. Something goes wrong and it ruins my experience. Like my brother, like ripped it around the yard one time and fucking flips it, rolls his ankle, fucks my bike up.
Yeah.
I never crashed it or anything myself. Adam actually crashed it also.
I wrecked his bike one time in front of him.
But it's just
You
one
didn't
of
really
those
wreck
things.
it. You just kind of slid out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was mud, and I hit the mud, and I was just sliding on it. Like I was still on the bike, just like sideways, just sliding through the grass.
It's kind of inevitable if you have a dirt bike, honestly.
They're made for it,
Yeah.
though. I
Like,
mean,
Adam
to a certain
popped
point.
a wheelie. Like I was leaving y'all's house one
Yeah.
day, like going past him, and he
Yeah.
had gone down and was coming back, and he popped a wheelie and just
Yep.
hit the sand and just.
He hit that power band.
It was so funny because like my brother had crashed it, and I brought it to y'all's house, and we were working on it, and we had just like fixed the plastics, and then he just ripped them off 30 minutes later.
It's so funny.
That's kind of
no
a-
engine brake.
And there's no engine braking, and Adam doesn't use his brake.
I was
the
gonna say
same
Adam
way.
likes that power wheelie.
Adam is good at a power. He's like too good at it that one day it's gonna get him because he'll stand up on the back of the 450,
Yeah.
and he'll like. It's not modified for stunts. Like you modify those bikes for stunts, you put a handbrake for the rear on the front. So you have usually they just do two calipers. So there's two different brakes on the back, and you got one on your hand, because that way you don't loop you don't put the bike over on its back. And Adam will just trust that he's not going to give it too much throttle and stand on the back of the bike and wheelie it down the street. And I'm like, oh my, there's no way. Because no, Adam,
Yeah. Adam's a different breed.
he's a different breed. He's one of those like extreme sports kind
A
of
lot
guys.
of
A little
intensity.
bit.
Lot of
Yeah.
intensity.
Yeah.
I
gotta
like it though.
respect it though, because I
Oh, me too. Yeah, for
can't
sure.
even imagine attempting to pop a wheelie. I just don't trust myself enough.
See, I like to do wheelies, but I'm so much more methodical about it. Like I feel like I trained with I did all these drills like that I had set for myself. Like I'm just gonna keep popping it over and over, and then I'm gonna learn how to do the brake to keep it down and do all this stuff. And Adam's like, "Let's go! I'm gonna do a wheelie. Watch this."
I remember your training arc with the wheelies.
With the wheelies,
training
I started getting pretty good, but then it just, I didn't. I got my bike for sale right now.
Your
My dirt
motorcycle?
bike.
Oh,
Dirt bike.
It's the same one you had like when I had mine,
Mhm.
the black
The
one,
blue one.
blue and black.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
black? I don't know.
It's the fast one.
Yeah.
Was it fast?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I have a slow blue and black one. Did I just?
I remember you had like an electric.
Is it
start.
super fast and super sick?
Because one of them is super fast and super sick, and one of them is really slow but like reliable.
I think it was the slow one.
It might have been the slow one then.
I don't remember. Does it have electric start?
They both do.
Okay.
So it doesn't. That doesn't
You've had them
change
both
anything.
Forever?
I've had one forever, and I got one when I sold the Miata.
Okay, the one that you've had forever.
Okay, yeah. That one I still have. I have to do some engine work to it, and I might sell it too, but I'm smelling that durian again.
I've been smelling it the whole time.
I don't smell it. Maybe I'm like the perfect distance.
I think you are.
Or the
Or
cats.
it's like the cat hair is just like closed up your sinuses,
I
and
don't
you can't
realize it,
actually
but I'm just
smell.
No, I'm chilling. Like I haven't felt any. It's probably because I haven't touched my eyes or anything. But
We were
That's
we
good.
were setting up, and Griffin's like, "What? Like, do you want me to do something? Do you want me to help?" And I was like, I feel kind of. I don't want to like have the guests like do a bunch of stuff, but I also get when I show up to something
Yeah.
and I want to help. So I gave him the vacuum to vacuum off his chair from all the cat hair.
I'm in the same boat. Like when I pull up somewhere and people are doing stuff.
Yeah, you want to
no matter
help.
what
It
is,
feels
like, I don't
awkward.
wanna just stand
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So I don't want you like I don't want to like leave you feeling awkward, but at the same
Yeah.
time I don't want to give you jobs to do.
I was trying to avoid talking because I was like, dude, I want to talk about this on the pod.
I know. We have that issue. We had
Yeah.
when Cameron. Do you know Cameron?
Yeah, I don't know him that well.
But you've met him a couple times
Yeah,
at least.
Which I got to get to a story later. But what were you about to say?
All right, yeah. Well, when we had Cameron on, he started talking about all this juicy stuff, and we
I
were
know,
like,
before the pod.
wait, wait,
Stop.
wait,
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
it. Let's talk about it on the pod.
Because like I'm not gonna lie, you hit me up the other day, and I've just been thinking about like what I can talk about.
Yeah.
but it never goes to plan. Like you just kind of go with the flow.
No, I remember telling people like when we first decided we wanted to do a pod, we were like, are we supposed to plan a bunch of stuff? And the first couple, we
Which
both
we did, yeah.
had like bulleted lists of stuff to bring up because it was weird. The first time we did it, we were kind of, I don't want to say nervous because I mean we weren't. It's not like you're in front of a live audience or
Yeah.
anything, but it's just your heart rate's a little bit up. You're on edge a little bit. You don't know what's going on. You know you're doing something, and it just feels weird. But then eventually we kind of realized if you maybe during the week something happens and you're like, I want to bring this up on the podcast, but otherwise you just kind of it starts going the way it's gonna go anyway.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
just
a natural
it's honestly
thing.
like just talking in a group, just kind of
Which-
out.
Yeah, 'cause the first episode, you're like, so, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
And it's just
I
like,
cut out the
it's like,
first. I cut out the first like 30 seconds of the first podcast because it sounded so weird. It was like upsetting.
It is. It still is a little upsetting.
Let's see.
What episode is this? 17.
This is 17.
Nice. It's getting up there quick.
Like, okay,
We're plowing through. We're plowing
Yeah.
through.
You sometimes would.
Okay, hold on. This is the first. This is the first one. We had the different noise that came with the.
This is what we do, right?
No, it wasn't even that. I put it in after the fact. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Straight out the gate.
Yeah, and I'm
Welcome to
yeah.
I got nervous.
Yeah.
I got nervous, and I was like, "Well, we can't not talk." So I had to say something.
put all the pressure on me.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I got
Yeah.
an easy thing to say."
Yeah.
What did
What do you
say?
want to talk about?
What did you say?
Yeah, I want to talk about setting up.
You're like, yeah, I guess
I can't.
I'll talk.
It's really not one of those things you can prepare for. Like,
Not really.
when I was telling, like, because we do this like family lunch every Sunday or whatever,
Mhm.
and I was like, yeah, I'm going to the podcast, like I'm going to be on this podcast after, and they're like, what's the topic? And I'm like,
No topic.
we just gonna sit down
Yep.
and start talking.
I think podcasts with topics don't do very well.
Yeah, unless it's like a true crime podcast,
Correct. Yeah,
a
yeah.
topic that you can like slowly progress on, but like,
Or like I've listened to podcasts before that are very specific to a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Like they are
like the Huberman podcast,
Exactly.
where it's like health science.
it's all health
only,
science. So you know there's a topic every time. But
Yeah.
his podcasts sound more like a lecture, and he like produces them a lot more.
yeah,
Yeah.
But the
This-
entertainment podcasts, you
Yeah.
can't really plan
exactly,
for
yeah.
them.
Just kind of revolves around having a guest and
Yeah.
talking about their experiences. But like, yeah, most podcasts that have like a topic that they want to educate you on struggle to like last past like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
'Cause
I know.
Once you get the information out,
Then
it's
what
not
do you
like
do?
You're talking to a panel of people that can give their input.
Yeah.
You give all that information, and you're just like, okay, it's over.
All right. See you next time.
The thing about the podcast really is that everyone's like, oh, it's a horrible time to make a podcast because there's so many podcasts out there, but there really aren't. The number is the amount of separate like feeds there are.
Yeah.
But the actual amount of podcasts that just make a podcast every week, I think anyone could do it.
Yeah.
I think everyone should. Everyone who's listening is like, I want to make a podcast. Do it.
Yeah.
And then see how many episodes you can actually
The
do
more
every
the
week.
better, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's so
like
entertaining.
people discouraging you from making a YouTube channel. It's like,
It's like, why?
if you
Yeah.
have your special thing and people enjoy it, then
You
it
can
doesn't
get
matter.
you can
Just-
get so caught up in there's already so much of this. It's
Yeah.
such BS. Like if you're interested in it, just do
just
it.
do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
You
if
can do it.
catches on, cool.
It's free to make a YouTube
Yeah.
channel, and it cost me like some tiny, like laughable amount of money to post the podcast to everywhere. We got the podcast on. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. It's on Amazon.
So you have to pay to post it.
You pay. So there's this company called RSS, or it's a company, or I think it is a company. Let me see. RSS.com.
Side note, while you're looking that up, there's like a stink bug that's been like bouncing between you two. And it's,
Really?
Where?
It's right there on the seat next to you, Gus. On the peak of the cushion.
I see him.
Oh, yeah. Oh!
That was our guest.
What do you have to
gonna
say? What do you have
speak
to say
next?
about that?
RSS. I don't even know what RSS is, honestly. But it's the way that I launch everything. So I upload the podcast to rss.com, and it automatically, it's like a subscription service for everything else. So you go in and you put in what you want to post to, and it's your feed. So you upload to your feed, and then everything else that you distribute to automatically gets it. So we're on Spotify, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcast, Podcast Index, Listen Notes, RSS Community, and also Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. I still haven't gotten on Pandora, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or Deezer, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you got the main ones.
But
I
it's
usually listen on Spotify or maybe YouTube if I'm feeling funky.
well, it's it's interesting because the actual people who listen, which are mostly people we know at this point, are mostly listening on like through the RSS feed. But the trying to catch new people is all through YouTube.
Yeah.
Which it's interesting. We got 250 hours of watch time.
Oh, nice. What's your average
pretty good.
podcast? Is what, like an hour and a half?
Honestly,
about-
higher than that.
Yeah.
I haven't watched all of them, I'll be honest, but I think the majority. Well, I kind of get lost because I'm watching them or listening while I'm at work, and it just kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another. We got another comment about this girl, Janice W86. I'm calling you out right now. A month ago, she said, "Can y'all do a shoes off episode? That would be hot."
She did say that. I remember that.
That was on Colby. We had Colby on here,
Okay.
and then
Colby, man. Shout out to Colby.
13 days ago,
That dude rocks.
he does rock.
Dude, I think me and Colby, like, maybe not our personalities, but we're like I've always thought of him as like a very similar person to me.
Yeah.
Size and build and look. Like, I just feel like we're like low key, like lost cousins.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see you being related for sure. Your personalities are a bit different.
Yeah. Kobe's
but-
one of a kind.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But then 13 days ago, Janice W86 said, I really like when y'all kick your feet up and wiggle your toes in your socks and shoes.
We don't have to pay for more.
Yeah, she's really onto the feet. Stuff.
But it's crazy because she said she likes when we wiggle our toes. How does she know?
She's a toe enthusiast.
She knows.
Man.
She can tell through
I
our
would
socks
love to
and
take
shoes.
my shoes off, but like my shoes are or my feet are freezing as is. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I try
Yeah.
to turn the temperature up, but it's not coming up that
No, I'm
much.
feeling good. It's just I swear I have sensitive toes or
It's
something.
just your toes.
Yeah, sensitive toes.
Dude, Janice is going to be so excited that we're talking about feet
She
right now.
is.
Shout out to Janice.
Janice.
She's one of our biggest fans as far as our comments are concerned.
Yeah, pull up and let us see your feet, Janice.
Yeah, we can get
I
Janice.
bet you Janice is a dude.
That might be.
Either way,
Her picture is a girl.
I don't know many dudes named Janice. But
No, I don't either, but it's
could
been
be
known
some
to
out
happen.
Yeah, that tea, like, the tea has diminished my burps. I need more like real beer.
Yeah, go ahead, help
Is it
yourself.
just like an open bar? So
Yeah,
Open
it's
bar.
it's like help yourself. Yeah,
I like the fat tire. I'm not gonna lie.
I can open it for you
Oh,
unless
yeah.
you got to
I
open her.
spoke too soon.
Let me get it.
I stood up and I had a burp for a second. Do the knife thing. That's pretty impressive.
Put the mic on.
Got the wombo combo in
I
there.
just keep smelling the fruit.
The fruit is wafting to me. What are we at? We're at 123. I kind of
talking about
have
burp?
to pee again.
Me too. I was trying to avoid.
All
saying
right,
that.
all right. Let's pee. How's your game going, Gus?
Oh yeah.
It's close. It's 38-39.
See, that's March Madness for you right
It
there.
is. It really is.
Oh, you're down.
Every game's a 1-point game. I swear to God.
And that's why I love it, because like you could have a 16 seed, like what's it called, against Purdue.
FDU.
They wax them. It's not even like they barely won.
I know.
I put them as winning, right, on my bracket.
I don't think so.
Oh, my bracket. So I'm not
He
like
doesn't know anything.
I'm not into the college basketball like that.
Not into any sport, really.
Not really. Even stuff that I love to do, like motocross, I just
Yeah.
can't watch it. Or like
Yeah.
F1. Everybody who's like, "Oh, I'm not into basketball, but I'm really into F1." I'm like, I'm not really into it either.
Yeah.
I
I
want
just
to get into F1. It looks
it's
like a lot
supposed
of
to be
fun.
cool, but I
Yeah.
have trouble getting into the competitive stuff that's not. I'd rather spend my time like either practicing it or learning about stuff I can do. There's something about just watching other people do it I'm not as interested in.
Yeah.
So, but I made a bracket anyway because I was like, I'm just
fuck
gonna
it.
guess, and I know like you can see all the seeds on the bracket, so you can tell kind of relatively how they've done in their
Yeah.
season, in their regular season, and then you can tell like just names you've heard before. Like for me, names I've heard before are probably better teams than names I haven't.
Yeah.
So if I don't recognize them, I don't really put them as going very far. But if it's like Alabama, I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna do pretty well.
Which is funny because they're usually known for football.
Yeah, that's a
more.
football school.
And now that they're like doing well in basketball, it
Mm-hmm.
just feels weird.
It does.
But yeah, they say like the less you know, the better you'll do in March Madness.
Yeah.
Which is
I
very
believe
true.
it. You know, none of the submitted brackets are perfect.
Yeah, like there's never been a perfect.
But we're only what, like, in the final what? Or
We're in the
not
second
final,
round.
which is how many teams? 16,
It
32?
goes 32, yeah.
So there's 32 teams left. No one who has
one.
submitted a perfect
Yeah,
bracket.
because I guarantee nobody, maybe 5 people had Purdue losing.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
They were supposed to win it all, but like as they have in the past like 4 years, they just choked.
I had them winning all my bracket. I had Houston. It was Houston, Purdue,
Yeah.
and I had Houston winning,
I got Tennessee winning the whole thing.
which they're
Which-
still in it.
Yeah, they just beat my team.
Really?
So
Tat-
I'm a Duke fan.
You know why I put
Oh,
Tennessee up
yeah.
there is because I'm Morgan Wallen.
Ah, shout out to Morgan. He's a pretty cool guy.
we got
Have
that
you-
nice campus. Too.
Have you heard his new album? Do you listen to country music?
I do. I don't know if I've heard his new
There's
album.
36 songs on his new
Oh,
album.
That's
It's
too much.
long.
That's too much.
But you know, last night we let the liquor talk.
Yeah.
Can't remember
Dude, he's
everything
on my
we
whiskey
said, but we
glass
said it
is-
all.
He's always talking about heartbreaking whiskey.
Yeah.
Like literally, this guy's.
And
been
I
through
think
it.
he's trying to get sober. I think.
Yeah.
At least like from his songs and like a couple interviews, it sounds like he's trying to get sober.
Isn't Post Malone trying to get sober too?
Damn, that would be good for him. He needs to. He's
Dude,
like,
I heard he doesn't. All he does is drink beer. Like he doesn't smoke.
yeah,
He
but
doesn't smoke anymore?
But he drinks a lot.
Yeah.
Man.
I feel like everybody does something.
Yeah.
Everybody's got that one vice, even if it's now the issue is it's complicated because we're all also addicted to technology and like weird little dopamine hits. So sometimes you're like, oh, I'm actually very healthy, but you're kind of not still.
Yeah.
It's weird.
The scrolling.
There's so much stuff you can be addicted to these days. It's not even funny.
Exactly.
Because that's the best business model is promoting an addiction. Look at like tobacco is probably one of our biggest like American businesses.
Yeah.
It's slowly becoming less, although the new like all the vapes and stuff are making it higher. But tobacco, there's so much money in tobacco, and you can't eat it. You don't gain anything from it except a buzz. Like it's just because it's addictive.
Yeah.
They made so much money. There's huge tobacco fields in North Carolina. It's a huge export here.
And then you have the vape scene making something out of like demoting that, basically like saying, "Oh, this is better for you." Than tobacco. You can get
the
what you
vape
want,
scene
but
really
at a lesser
scares
cost.
me.
But yeah, that's even worse. You don't know where them things are coming from.
No.
I don't think I ever
long-term effects.
I don't think I ever would have used tobacco if it weren't for vapes.
Yeah.
And that's such BS because that was the original marketing of tobacco.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry.
Vapes.
That was the
Yeah.
original marketing of vapes.
Yeah.
Is that they'll get you off of and they'll prevent people from using. Imagine you make a device that gets people buzzed with an addictive substance and you market it as this is going to help people stop. That's the most genius. Whoever came up with that is a genius.
The Chinese.
It's the
Yeah,
same
probably.
substance that you're being addicted to. It's just a different form of it.
Yeah.
Which,
And
you could argue that vapes are worse than tobacco, and I might even agree.
I won't argue one way or the other because I don't know enough, but
Yeah.
what I do know is that like the only tobacco I'll touch still is cigars.
Yeah.
I like a cigar because a cigar, while it's not I agree it's not good for you. It's like you can't there's no way to say it's good for you or even there's no way to say it's
good for the soul.
it's better not to health-wise than to. But the question comes down to how bad is it? And like addiction-wise, you don't get like a crazy buzz from a cigar. So you're not like fiending for a cigar. Although I will want one. I'll kind of crave one, but I don't like it's not like every day I want like a bunch of cigars every day. 'Cause it takes a long time to smoke one, first of all. It takes like 45 minutes to an hour. So it's a whole thing you have to do. Then your mouth kind of tastes like it for the next day and a half, which is annoying. So it's
dude, it's definitely like a relaxation thing for me.
Yeah.
And like it's so good that I can't get like addicted to them because like I can't go out and like work and then have like a cigar while I'm like working or like in the morning I wake up I'm like time for a cigar.
time for the cigar.
It's always like an evening, nighttime, like relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love 'em.
But stuff like I don't know, other forms of nicotine just are such a slippery slope because they're so easy. They're not bad except health-wise.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like even cigarettes, which you watch somebody smoke a cigarette, you're like, that's kind of gross. You're kind of grossed out, but it's not like you're going to not be friends with them.
Yeah.
But if you watch somebody like shooting heroin, you're not hanging out with that person anymore. You're just not. It changes something about you.
What about Coke?
Coke is the edge.
Definitely makes me frown sometimes upon my friends.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not gonna.
I've
be friends with them.
I've never tried it, or even I've never been offered. To be fair,
Yeah.
But I've known people. I've seen people take it before. 2 different people I've seen take it, and the reason I'm mostly not interested is because I think I would love it.
Yeah.
Because I love stimulants, and it's one of those things where I mean I've already made it to almost 24, so like
There's really no reason.
I'm not very impulsive anymore as far as my stuff I want to try like that. So I'm not super into it.
Yeah,
like
me either.
I don't want to try it necessarily. I think it's a very interesting drug, and I think certain people can use it in a safe way. I don't know if I could.
Yeah.
I don't want to try it.
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like at this point, there's no reason to
No.
try it. Maybe if I was in college still, but like
It's also not high end of stuff. Like I feel like I would potentially try MDMA, but I don't have like a hankering to.
Yeah.
What about shrooms?
Yeah.
Shrooms, the thing is, I would want to try them, but I'm too afraid that I would just freak out.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I would. That's probably the only other drug I would be willing to try.
Because it's it's like it's non-addictive. It's pretty safe.
It's natural.
Yeah, and it's natural, and you're not really gonna have any, like the worst effects of it that have ever happened are like supposedly people get PTSD from like the worst trip. But I just think it's not a dangerous or highly abused drug. You can abuse anything, but I don't think it's a very commonly abused. I don't think it's necessarily addictive. It does not form a dependence. A lot of people say they take it and they enjoy it, but they don't want to do it again for a long time. So I would try that in the right circumstance.
Yeah, definitely.
I would have to be like in the perfect state of mind though, and be ready to do that.
Yeah, and in a very comfortable spot.
Yeah.
At that music festival, I got offered a lot. And I was just like, I was like, I want to, but like,
But
it needs to be.
it's not a good place to
it needs
try
to
it
be,
for the
I need to
first
be
time.
like first time. It needs to be really comfortable.
Yeah, because I mean, even just like smoking a little, Doja,
Little
Yeah.
J Dog.
little
That
J
za.
dog, even tapping a little J dog, going into public, like I get hella nervous, like
Yeah.
hella paranoid, and like I can't imagine what it would be like if I were to take shrooms for the first time and be in public.
Yeah.
I would tweak.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
would
nuts.
tweak. So I'm just,
Which is weird because that's what I like about alcohol is that you can have a couple beers at like a bar and then go to get food and you feel so comfortable talking to anybody.
exactly.
But anything like sort of psychedelic-y, I feel like you're just like, oh, they're gonna know.
Especially not
they're
for the
gonna
first
hate
time.
me.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't have anything against it. I don't have anything against really people taking any drugs if they do it in a really smart way. And certain drugs, I think there's no smart way. It's the only thing. Like, I don't think you can take meth in a smart way.
Yeah.
So I don't really respect people doing meth.
Yeah, I always think like, how do you get yourself into that situation of like doing meth for the first time?
I think that the normal like progression to that is unfortunately through a very legal slippery slope, which is that you go get a surgery.
Yeah.
They prescribe you opiates.
Yeah.
And then you have these opiates, you love them, or maybe you're like thinking, every time that I've trusted the pharmaceutical companies before, it's been fine for me. So I'm going to take 2 or 3 of these pills because I'm in so much pain. I just need this pain to go away. You got like knee surgery and you took 3 or 4 of your, OxyContin pills that you have, and all of a sudden you feel euphoria like you've never felt it. And maybe you're in kind of a bad spot in your life and you're not feeling like euphoric about a lot of stuff naturally. So all of a sudden you have this way to do it. And then you go through all your pills and then you buy them off somebody. Like you find somebody who will sell them to you that you kind of know.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of feels safe, and then you run out again, and then you've been through like a couple weeks of it, and then you find somebody who you don't know, you don't trust, and then you're like, this is way too expensive. And then you find out heroin is similar to morphine, which is, all down that trail. And so all of a sudden you can get this heroin and it's super cheap compared to the pills. So you're taking heroin, all of a sudden you're like, I can't believe I think you can smoke heroin, but then it's like hits way harder if you inject it.
Yeah.
So then you might start injecting it, and then you're like, well, I know that I can smoke meth and it'll last like 24 hours, so I don't have to be buying all this stuff all the time. I think it's that. I think it's like
it's gotta be.
it's this crazy story of manipulation from the pharmaceutical companies, which are doing everything above board. So it all starts above board.
Yeah.
I think most commonly it starts above board, which is the worst part of the whole thing.
It's sad, honestly.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even at a smaller scale, at one point I had been prescribed muscle relaxers because I was having these crazy back issues.
Mm-hmm.
And even after taking the muscle relaxer one time, like the next day I was like wanting more. And at that point I was like, nah.
Yeah.
I'll just deal with the pain because like that's the last thing I would want is to be addicted to pills.
Yeah.
So I just stopped taking them. It was crazy. one time, and I was
Yeah.
wanting more.
I got Oxy for my wisdom teeth, and I took just the prescribed dose maybe twice while I was still kind of loopy and I was just in so much pain, and then I took it. I think I took 3, maybe 4 of the pills, and I had like 30. It was like too much to give somebody that's 18 or 19.
Took about 30.
Yeah, and so I took one at work because I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
That's when I was working at Jersey Mike's.
I remember hearing. I think I heard this.
And
story.
and I started to get like, it gives you this warm feeling and this like wraps around you with like a blanket of comfort. And I was not taking a recreational dose.
Yeah.
I was taking the prescribed dose, and I felt comfortable and like kind of warm and happy. And I remember a customer was yelling at me, and I was standing right in front of her, like she's spitting on my face, yelling at me, and I was like smiling. I was like, wow, this person's so mad. And I was like, hey. When she stopped yelling, I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you had tomatoes on your sub, even though you didn't ask for tomatoes, dude. I'm so sorry.
Poor soul.
And then she was like, she got confused because usually when she yells at people, you know, they get upset or confused. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make you a new sandwich. And she's like, okay. She lost her energy because I just came at her with this slow, peaceful, I was high.
There's a solution to my problem.
Yeah. And then she's like, okay. And it just diffused it. And I didn't have any stress at all during that, which, if it can take away stress of somebody actually screaming at you, imagine if you already are going through some shit.
Yeah.
This stress would just go away, and then all of a sudden you have this just magic little pill you could take, and you feel comfortable in the midst of like horrible stuff going on in your life.
And the next thing you know, you're taking that pill every day.
Yep.
Multiple pills every day.
Addiction is crazy.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I've experienced it even with simple stuff like caffeine.
Yeah, definitely. And nicotine, they say, is like the most addictive. They say it's more addictive than cocaine, which I don't have any experience with cocaine, but
I believe it. I did when I first got to college, I got a vape and we put 0 nicotine juice in it because we were just like, let's just have one of these. Well, I don't know why. It's just, you're 18. We're like, so we had these vapes that it was just flavor. There's no nicotine in it. And then, no, I'll say we didn't put 0 in. We it was like 3%.
yeah.
And it goes up to like 55, 60%. So it was so low, and the devices we had were so small that they weren't, like, there was no way you were going to get a buzz off of it. And then I remember some girl I met had the same device, and she had like 30% in hers. I got my first buzz that night. Dude. But I also coughed and coughed 30%? And coughed. 30%? Yeah, like a Juul is like 50% or 55.
Jeez.
Or 60.
Something crazy.
I got disposable ones one time that were 65, and they were crazy.
Which I'm pretty sure like most disposables now like advertise as like 5, but there's no way.
The disposables now, I'm so glad I got off of it before the disposables now, because they are so good. They last an insane amount of time. Yeah. They're way more expensive than they used to be. Like, you could buy a $10 disposable back when I was getting disposables, but they would only last like 2 days.
Yeah. And
now they last like a month.
Yeah.
And they're like 30 or $50. They're expensive. I'm so glad I didn't stay on that.
It's really it's the flavor that gets people, I'm pretty sure, because like I don't know if you remember they banned Juuls for like the mango and this and that. Yeah. And they started going downhill, and then you got all these random Chinese companies,
the Elf bars,
pump out all these random flavors, and that's why people go to that.
And you just have no idea what is going into the chemical, but you like it so much because you're addicted to it, and you like the flavor that you're just willing to risk it.
Yeah.
And there's no long-term real effects or studies of the effects.
Because it hasn't been around long enough to have a study on it.
That's why I like to kind of bring it full circle, that's why I like cigars, because we already know how they're bad.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what your risk
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
You know that you have an increased risk of throat and lung cancer. You have but you know, you're not.
But it's not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed, and you're not breathing it in, but you still do. You're increasing like the exposure of carcinogens to your throat and lungs, even though you're not bringing it in. But it is definitely much lower, and a lot of the people who get, you know, part of these studies are people who are smoking a cigar, you know, like a couple times a day.
Yeah, I really don't have much cigar experience under my belt, honestly. Maybe like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But the vaping, I could definitely feel the toll it was taking on my body.
Yeah.
I had a friend tell me one time, like, he woke up and the first thing you do is reach for your vape.
Yeah.
And he said it literally made him blind for like 10 minutes. He couldn't see anything for
What?
like 10 minutes. Yeah. A bitty stick. I don't know. I know that was
That
very
bitty
popular
stick.
at a time.
Mm-hmm.
The bitty sticks did hit different, but I could like. He said he was.
I never gone
for, like,
blind.
10 minutes. He
But
couldn't see anything.
I had this thing where once I started doing it regularly, I would do the same thing. Like, I wouldn't wake up and grab it, but like once I was like showered, I think what I would do, I might be remembering wrong. I think what I'd do is I'd go to my first class of the day, which was early, and I'd come back. I would turn on Netflix, like whatever show I was watching, because I had this like extended period of free time between classes, and I decided that semester I was not going to do any homework between classes. I was just going to enjoy myself, and then after class I would do all my homework.
Yeah.
So I was like, gave myself this little puff period of just, I got to enjoy myself. And I would sit there and I would hit my stupid freaking USB drive, and I would and I would just be sitting there watching shows. And it was weird because once you stop, your brain starts telling you weird stuff. Your brain's like, don't you remember how nice it was when you watched Netflix? And then every time you see Netflix come on, you're like, I want to hit like, I want nicotine.
What the heck?
And I used to vape. Oh my gosh, I used to vape in the bathroom at Jersey Mike's while I was on my shift.
Dude,
and once I
same.
quit, every time I would go to the bathroom, I wanted to vape.
Yeah.
What the
It's like
heck?
your brain connects
you
it.
reprogram your
You
brain.
program your brain. It's such a horrible controlling drug that it feels so good and you want to be able to enjoy it, but there's no way to enjoy it. For me, the only way to enjoy it is, like I've already said, cigars, but you don't get that same rush you get from other stuff. Like, it's not euphoric. Smoking a cigar is not euphoric. It's not addictive. It's not so amazing you can't even believe it. It's just nice and relaxing. It's not the same. It's not like a substitute for... I don't think you can just quit cigarettes and start smoking cigars and be like, this is it. This is what I want.
That's what I want.
It's what I want
But
too.
I've
It's
never,
nice.
I've never vaped before.
Never?
Never.
Oh, I respect it, dude. I wish I never vaped.
Me
I
too.
remember the first time I ever hit a vape.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so I was such like a... I don't know what you call it. Like, dude, I was such a virgin to everything going into college. Like, I never touched alcohol in high school. I didn't touch weed. I didn't touch vape. Like, I thought that was
No
the
alcohol
devil.
through-
Nothing. I didn't even
Holy.
touch alcohol in college.
Whoa.
I don't think I drank seriously for the first time until I was like 20. But
Wow.
in college, like, dude, this dude had a vape, and I was like, nah, dude, I'm not hitting it, dude. No. And I was like, fuck it, let me hit it. But it was like, it wasn't
Okay,
the disposable.
okay.
It was like at the time where the big
The
box
mod?
mods were
Yeah.
like, dude, I got this brick.
The freaking cloud
So I'm
pushers.
like, all right, yeah, let me rip that thing. I ripped it, and I just swallowed the whole cloud. And I felt like shit for like 15 minutes. And then like 15 minutes later, I let out this burp, and just a cloud came out. I felt so much better, but like, I don't know where I was going with that.
You but you
That's your
swallowed.
first-
It was your first
Yeah, it
cloud
was-
swallow.
I just
See-
it was such a memorable first vape hit.
I got into it after the box mod thing. So that's the vegetable glycerin juice.
Yeah.
And then, which is the one that chucks the huge clouds and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's vegetable glycerin based. And then they did the salt nic,
Yeah.
which like the
Supposed to be
jewel
better
came
for
out.
you.
The jewel came out, and it's the salt nicotine.
Aren't
so
the
it's,
salt nicks crazy? Like
It's much
crazy
higher.
buzz.
Yeah, it's much higher percent, but it's way less stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
realistically, if somehow you could, what was that? Oh, that's the bag I put the durian in. Realistically, if you vaped like one time a day, you're ingesting so little material, it's probably not that bad for you.
Yeah.
But that one time a day, when you have this device that can give you a buzz whenever you want, like on demand, it's so hard. I would almost say impossible to limit yourself to that. And if you can successfully limit yourself to that, it's not fun. You feel like the whole time it's just this like, I want it, and I'm not getting it. I'm not gonna do it one day. Oh, one time. Oh, it's great. It's great for 30 seconds, and then you're done. You're like, I want to do it again.
That's the thing about a buzz. It's like
it's so fleeting.
I'm not gonna lie. It's great when you get that buzz, but it lasts 30 seconds.
So dumb.
15, 20, like.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a few seconds?
A cigarette lasts
But
a couple
the
minutes.
buzz is insane. Like if you had a nicotine buzz for an extended period of time,
Yeah.
it would be like worse than.
It'd probably be
being dry, I
upsetting.
think. Like sometimes I would hit it while I was driving and be like, I need to pull over.
Mhm.
I cannot see straight right
Yeah.
now.
What the heck?
I've
Yeah.
had.
I didn't know it hit that hard.
It
Which
hits
is probably
hard.
just combined with all the other chemicals they put in them.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, and that's the thing. Like, a cigarette lasts longer than a vape.
Yeah.
But you just feel so disgusting
Yeah.
after smoking a cigarette. I've never smoked a cigarette and been like, that was
happy
awesome.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever smoked a cigarette like sober. Like maybe while I'm drinking a beer. Or
I don't think I've
something.
ever smoked a cigarette sober either. And even when I've been like annihilated off of alcohol before and smoked a cigarette and felt guilt.
Yeah.
And you don't feel guilt about stuff when you're annihilated. I was like, and I've definitely smoked like maybe like 5, 6 cigarettes, you know.
Yeah.
You just blasted. You're like, I don't feel that good.
No, I was like upset. And I started to have this whole thing where I was like disappointed in myself.
Dude, it's so funny because like I was mentioning earlier, I never really touched any like substances before college. Well, I went to like my first college party and I wasn't drinking. Dude, I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. Dude, I was like, I just grabbed a cigarette, bro. And like that was what I was doing at the party. I smoked a cigarette and I was like, dude, I'm buzzed. Like everybody's drinking, smoking, and I'm just
You went to ECU
smoking.
too, didn't you?
Nah, UNCG.
Oh.
That was a good school. I had a great time. I only went there for a year
Wow.
because like I quickly figured out that like I was only there for the college experience
Yeah.
and not like what I was going to school for. But that 1 year was honestly, it was great. It was great. That's about all I have to
UNCG.
say. Yeah. Great football team.
Really?
No, they don't have a football team. It was like soccer was the main sport.
What?
Just switch gears here.
I have to pee.
Oh, okay. Surprisingly, I don't.
I don't either.
If either of you don't, I'm just gonna mute myself and I'll be back.
You can just go pee.
Honestly, I like really, really want to hit a vape right now.
You do? You can hit this durian.
Yeah, there ain't nothing to hit, so luckily.
Oh, I like the cigars because they last for a long time.
Yeah.
When I smoke a cigar, that like rush lasts for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was so
See,
nice.
the only time I've smoked a cigar is like special occasions. Like this is happening, so we're all gonna get cigars.
Yeah.
And smoke cigars. But when I did it, I don't know if I don't think I felt a buzz. It
Really?
might be because like right before I hit the cigar, I was probably hitting a vape, and right after I was probably hitting a vape.
Yeah.
So
I know. Yeah. If you have a really high tolerance,
yeah.
I know the cigars can be not as exciting.
Which right now, if I hit a cigar, I probably would feel something because I don't remember the last time I vaped.
Really?
Which is a good thing. I haven't vaped in a long time,
Yeah. That's.
which I'm kind of proud of because it's very hard to quit if you get started.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had so many. My best friend that lives with us, he's been on and off vapes for like 8 years.
Yeah.
And he tries to quit and he goes for like a couple months.
Yeah.
And then he just shows
That's
up
like-
with one again.
I will say like the hardest part is like the first couple days and then like at like the 3-month mark, it just hits you out of nowhere. It's like,
Yeah.
you need a vape.
Yeah, it remembers.
I swear, like I thought I was just a fiend,
Yeah.
but like I would quit vaping. So with my last job, I would travel a lot, like a lot of traveling.
Uh-huh.
And when you're just driving for hours on end, like you run out of shit to do, and like my body would just be like go stop, buy a vape, buy a vape, buy a vape,
Yeah.
go buy a vape, go buy. And I'd be like, no. And I'd just fuck it, pull over, buy a vape.
Oh.
And I would hit it, and I'd fucking throw it out the window. Like, I
Really?
swear to God, I've probably thrown like 15 brand new vapes out the window. Just
I've done that before.
not out the window, into a trash can. But like,
Yeah. Out the window, off the wall, into a dumpster.
yeah, like bank shot.
Yeah.
But it's like, why did I buy that? Like, it's like my body was yearning for a vape, just like, go buy a vape, go buy a
Yeah.
vape.
It's just like something to do.
Yeah.
It's like picking up your phone.
Because, like, when I was driving, the only thing to do was music, podcast, and vaping. Like, I'm not about
Yeah.
to drink and drive and stuff. Like,
Yeah, I went
Pop a
and
cold one.
I've bought a pack of cigarettes before, and I was like already like, oh my gosh, that's the
Yeah.
worst thing I've ever done. And then I smoked one, and then I was like, okay. And then the next day or whatever, I smoked one, and then I wanted another one. I smoked two, and I got just this like I felt disgusted.
Yeah.
And I took them all, and I had this like tin foil that I had cooked some like steak or something on, and I just emptied them all out, and I took it in the tin foil and like tore them all up
Yeah.
and threw them out. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not giving myself the option to do any more of these, and I'm not buying more.
Yeah.
This is so gross, and it's not even fun, and it's like it feels good for like, and you just feel like such an asshole. It just
yeah.
Yeah.
it's not even great.
You
It's
know,
not even that
it's
great.
bad when you feel that
It
way.
feels
Yeah.
good
when
but
your brain is telling you no.
the thing about me is I can't enjoy it because of the guilt.
Yeah.
There's so
Exactly,
much
yeah.
guilt, so I can't actually enjoy it, so I don't like it. Even though obviously you like it. Anybody would like it. The feeling is good.
Yeah.
But there's just so much guilt involved that you're just like, I don't want to. Like, I wish I had grown up when they didn't know cigarettes were bad yet. And I could just enjoy cigarettes.
Because, like, to this day, sometimes I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but, like, I just kind of want a cigarette. Just to feel, like, a little bit of a buzz, but not have a vape that's, like, I'm going to have for weeks on end.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still resist that urge, but it's, like, it's still there sometimes, like, randomly.
Yeah, I'm glad I never chewed, because I feel like that's the pinnacle of nicotine, like, consumption.
Yeah.
That's, like, the one that's the hardest to quit. For whatever reason, because it's gross.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's, like, the one that people do, and they just can't get over it.
Which I think, like, the new Zen pouches or whatever,
Mhm.
I've probably done them a couple times just because, like, whatever. But I think that might be, like, the cleanest thing that you can do nowadays. I don't know why.
They last a long time, don't they?
I think just probably about the same as, like, a dip.
I've never tried anything, like, orally like that.
Yeah.
I
will
just,
say I tried to dip for, like, a week,
yeah.
but it gave me crazy chest pain. Something about the drainage.
You got heartburn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was hurting, and I was like, yeah, I'm stopping this.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
I was like, it was back when I was
And it's
fishing
so
every day.
gross.
Felt like a country
Yeah,
boy.
yeah. I haven't been fishing in a long time. I want to go fishing again.
Fishing.
I used to be on that fishing grind.
What did you
dude.
fish for?
I used to fish more than I went to class.
What
was
did
the
you
thing.
fish for?
Bass, boy.
Really?
In high
Yeah.
school, especially. Like, I used to grow up fishing, like, all the time.
Yeah.
But in high school, when it was, like, the thing to do, it
Yeah.
was, like, really when I got back into
What
it.
did you fish with? Lures?
Yeah, crankbaits.
Yeah.
Crankbaits and Senkos. That's what they used to call them.
See-
They're like a certain type of worm.
My favorite fishing ever. I've never really truly been bass fishing, to be
Yeah.
fair. But my favorite fishing is just catfishing.
Dude.
I like to throw
Yeah, the set it and leave it.
it's the
Yeah.
Carolina rig, right?
Yeah,
You put the sinker, like one of those little bean sinkers where it's got a hole straight through it.
Yeah.
You put that on your line, so it's straight up just on your line. It can go back and forth as far as you want, and then you tie a little bead in so that it can't hit your knot, like the sinker can't hit your knot and break
Yeah.
it, and then you just put your hook on.
Yeah.
It's called the Carolina rig. It's like the
Yeah.
easiest rig to tie up, and you just put that one of those circle hooks on, and if you can catch a bluegill, like a little sunfish,
Yeah.
and you just cut him into strips, and if you can take like his head or just a piece of his like gut, put it on your circle hook, you toss it out into the river, and you just
You just
put it in one of those little like spring things that holds it, and you
just
just
chill.
sit there. and
That
you
is
wait,
some good.
and all of a
fishing.
sudden your line is just going crazy,
Yeah.
and you're reeling in this monster catfish.
Catfish tastes so good too.
dude, it is.
It tastes all right.
No,
I'm not.
No.
I like. It's not gonna taste as good as a saltwater fish at
Yeah,
all.
I can agree with that. It is a little more mushier.
Yeah.
But it is probably one of the better like fish that you can catch
It tastes-
here to eat.
Earthy,
Yeah.
but it's not really a bad thing. And if it's very fresh, like you caught it that day, and you fried it that day, and you're eating it, it's not been reheated. It's
Yeah.
just like it's actually you just cooked it, you just fried it. It's good. That it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
know.
say anything negative about it.
I know there's like I could be wrong, but the Cape Fear is like not completely saltwater, but it's like brine.
It's
Brackish.
yeah,
Yeah.
like brackish.
Mm-hmm.
Those catfish hit different, like kind of
Yeah.
the saltwater.
Really?
It's like
Because they're like
pre-seasoned.
marinating their whole life.
Because my brother,
yeah, they got that corned beef.
my brother, like they used to go on this like annual like fishing trip and just load up. I'm talking like anywhere from half a pound to like 30-pound catfish. Just
Oh my
load
God.
up, have a giant catfish fry. That shit is different. If you season it right, batter it right, fry it right, it's good. But nothing I don't think in my book will top salmon. Like I love salmon.
Salmon is for
It's just
sure.
like the most classy. It's the cleanest like
Yeah.
tasting
Oh
fish.
my gosh! And
Which
Avery can make some amazing salmon.
Yeah.
She does a lemon pepper salmon
yeah.
with potatoes and stuff. That's really good. It's kind of like an American style. And then she does this Mediterranean salmon with it's almost like tomato sauce,
Yeah.
and it's those couscous, but the big ones, like the Israeli couscous or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like got all this weird like those little they're like little mini olives. I can't remember what they're called right now. They're called capers. And it's got all this crazy flavor, and it just mouth watering good. She can make some amazing dishes, but the salmon just hits so hard.
Yeah, half those ingredients you just listed, like I have no idea what they are.
Right?
But that just
Yeah.
means that she can throw down.
Yeah,
It's
she
like,
throw down.
I thought I can cook decently, but like, that for me that consists of seasoning it and throwing it in the air fryer. And
Yeah.
some air fried salmon is actually really good.
I bet it
I
is.
love
I bet it
crispy
is.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like crispy stuff too.
Yeah.
And I think that she can cook weirdly well because she started cooking when she was really, really young.
Yeah.
But just like being able to adequately cook
Yeah.
is a really cool thing. I'm trying to get myself into like a grilling
Yeah.
like
Grill,
hobby.
grill daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, like, now that I live on my own, like, I cook way more than I used to. And
It's weird. Sorry, I just caught a fuzz out of the air. No, okay. So when we lived, I lived in my apartment for a while, and I started cooking a little bit more, and then I moved in with them because I moved out of my apartment. I didn't have anywhere else to live, so I was just staying in Avery's room, and I was like, it was his parents' kitchen, so I wasn't in there all the time, just like
Yeah.
chefing it up. I was just
yeah.
eating out a lot and stuff. And I felt like I was kind of in a limbo where I was living. I was just kind of surviving. But then once we moved into this new house, I've got all these new aspirations to learn cooking again and get better at it. And especially meat. Because I feel like I'm behind like most people my age of knowing how to like cook
Yeah.
up some meat.
But honestly, like, I feel like a lot of people our age don't know how to cook for shit.
Yeah.
Especially
Nah.
with DoorDash and stuff coming in.
Yeah,
like,
it's so
Yeah.
easy to get
so
food.
easy to just, I'll just eat out tonight.
Yeah.
I made a steak the other day, and I don't have much, if any. I don't think I have any experience except the past couple weekends I've been trying to cook on a charcoal grill. And the last time I put my cast iron pan on the charcoal grill,
Yeah.
it was getting way too hot. Like way too hot.
Yeah.
And and I put a steak on and I cooked it for way too long. And I burnt the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Like it was well done, which some people like a well done steak. I don't. And so it was just, I was so sad. I had spent all this money on a nice cut of steak, and I was like, oh, it's so bad. And I want to learn how to do it because I can cook a pretty good steak inside on a cast iron skillet, just sear it the whole way through.
Yeah.
But I want to get really good at it.
Yeah.
I've started to get the
The
urge.
key is the temperature. Like,
Yes,
I feel like you have to get one of those. What is it called?
the IR,
One of
infrared.
The guns. Yeah, one of the infrared guns. Just like know the temperature of
Yeah.
the cast iron. Because you get it too hot, it's gonna get way too burnt on the outside. You
I'm-
get it hot enough, it's gonna be raw on the inside.
I've been into the cast iron stuff for about a year. I got into it. There's all this like, there's so much to know and so many weird opinions about the cast iron.
Yeah.
But I've got a bunch of weird little cast iron stuff. But the way I consider it is I have two pieces. I've got a 10-inch skillet and a 12-inch skillet.
Yeah.
And the more you make food on it, the better they get.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it's like seasoned or whatever
Yeah.
you call it. Yeah.
And it's this literally carbon polymerization on the steel or on the iron, sorry.
Yeah.
And so you get carbon that's basically acting as if it's plastic, but it can take a lot more temperature than plastic.
Yeah.
And that's where the non-stick goes. And then there's so much to learn about how to cook with different temperature because iron radiates a lot of heat. There's 3 ways to transfer heat: conduction, convection, radiation. Conduction is touching. So if you touch something, you get heat out of it. Convection is currents of heat, basically. So it's heat moving through air and then hitting something else.
Yeah.
And then radiation is the weirdest one.
Yeah.
It's where the heat like travels through the space towards something.
Yeah.
And iron radiates way more heat than aluminum, which is the second most common type of pan.
Yeah.
Is aluminum coated in something. So like the iron is heating stuff up with obviously like the same conduction that aluminum is, but also all this radiation. So you don't heat them up as much on the stove. You put it way, way, way cooler, and it's still heating whatever you're cooking more. It's this whole crazy science experiment of trying to cook. And I got so enveloped in it, trying to learn about it, and I'm not even good at cooking.
Yeah.
I'm just so interested in it.
I need to get a cast iron skillet.
I think everybody does, because the cool thing is, if you can just learn the basics of taking care of a cast iron skillet, which is pretty much just oil it when you're done with it,
Yeah.
it will last hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So
Don't
you
scrub
buy a skillet from Lodge, which is like kind of like the common brand to buy from, on Amazon for $20. And your great grandchildren are inheriting that Lodge that you bought off some website that's not even around anymore, and now they all are using like AI everything, and, and they've got they're
I don't
like,
even want to think about that.
this Lodge is from GSteel when he bought it in 2023.
Yeah, 2023.
Isn't it weird that we're from the 20s? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I was born in 99.
Same.
Yeah. So like for me, the 20s was so long ago.
Yeah.
So somebody who's born in 2099
It's gonna
is going to be like
this
the
as
20s. Yeah.
Time is crazy.
Time is so weird, and I get upset about it a lot, actually. About how fleeting time is, how little time we have here.
Yeah.
It's like it can be
'Cause, like,
upsetting.
It feels like we've been here forever, but we've already spent 23, 24 years of our life. And that means we only have about 50 to 75 left.
Yeah.
Damn, we've already spent a fourth of our life.
And that last like 20 to 15 to 20 years is going
Yeah.
to be us being old.
Yeah. And like considering how like fast technology and everything is moving nowadays, like I have no idea what to expect.
We
for
might-
even the next
You guys are
5
scaring
years.
me.
We
You guys are
might-
scaring me.
Yeah.
We might not even know what's going on. We're
Yeah.
sitting there like just old. We resent the technology because we can't understand it.
Yeah.
So we're just sitting there hating what's going on, being old, and then just
Our
die.
children are making fun of us.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why I've talked about this on the pod before, but everyone's like, I'm not getting the microchip in my head. I am.
It's already in there.
But I'm when Elon Musk is like, we got the, what is he called? like Tesla Live or whatever. It goes in your brain.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Neuralink.
Neuralink.
Yeah, Neuralink.
I'm getting that crap. And everyone's like, I'm not. But we're going to have these grandchildren who have Neuralink, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, Grandpa Tyler has the oldest Neuralink ever. I can't believe he still uses that.
So you're like
It doesn't even do
preparing for the
anything.
flex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be that grandpa that's got the newest
I was the
freaking
first
Neuralink.
one.
I'm going to be that grandpa that's actually got the new technology
Yeah.
because I know, like, my grandpa is kind of techie. One of them, and one of them's
Yeah.
not. My grandpa on my dad's side has always been an early adopter of, like, smartphones and stuff. And he's not that great at using it, but he's always got a good phone.
Yeah.
Like, he's always got a nice phone. And it's just because he's like, yeah, this is the new thing that's come out. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna adapt with what's going on.
I have to respect that because there's
Yeah.
so many older people that are just they're not accepting of new things, and it's
Yeah.
like, why even be that way? I want to try to be the opposite and
Because-
accept every new thing that's coming into.
The thing is, the way I at least guess that it's like is you have the new technology is so different from what you grew up with that you're thinking these people are corrupted by this.
Yeah.
You feel so separated from this new technology that you're like,
Yeah.
you almost want to boycott it because you don't want to like do it. You don't want to be part of what you view as this like problem. And we're gonna see the same thing with the AI stuff that's going on. You know, like in 30 years, people are gonna talk about this time where
Yeah.
Chat GPT was a
Yeah,
thing
when it first dropped.
when it first came out.
I don't even want
The
to.
4.0 is coming out soon.
Yeah.
Because like the amount that it's changed from when like even my parents were kids to now is insane. Even from 20 years ago until now is insane.
Yeah.
There wasn't an iPhone 20 years
Dude,
ago.
10 years ago.
10, yeah.
5.
The iPhone 1 compared to the iPhone, what are we at now? 14?
14.
That's nuts. Like they can scan our face and unlock our phone. Like that's the
Yeah.
simplest thing they can do.
I had a 3G. That was my first
3G
iPhone was a
was
3G. It went crazy. I was playing Temple Run on that thing.
I remember when my brother got like the iPhone 2.
Yeah.
And like we were like all we would do was download apps that like mimicked a lighter and like,
Yeah,
pull it
yeah.
out of
Yeah.
plastic.
Or did you
yeah.
do the hair buzzer thing?
Yeah, like
And you would press it and it would
it's
go,
like-
and you would put it on somebody's
Yeah.
head, and somebody would be like, "What are you doing? Are you cutting my hair?" It's like you're like, "It's just my iPhone."
It's my new app I just got.
There's an app for
oh
that.
god. And now they can do whatever you can think of.
And now, like,
More than
nobody
our
would
minds
download that
can
app.
comprehend. Yeah.
I know. I do remember the lighter app where you just have different lighters
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
just
yeah.
you're like,
That was
nice.
like the extent of having an iPhone.
yeah, you're like nice.
Or like you have one of those crazy flashlight apps that does like strobe light
Yeah,
and
now
stuff.
it's built into the phone.
It just in
flashlight.
there, yeah.
It's crazy.
No one who's born now will know the kind of stuff we used to do with
Yeah.
our phones because we did the most simple stuff and it was only entertaining
Yeah.
because it was new.
Yeah.
It was novel.
Dude, I remember when Instagram dropped.
Me too.
It was like nuts.
And
Even
you could only
Vine.
post square pictures,
Yeah.
and it was only pictures.
And you could just like and comment. None of that other shit.
No, and you used to be able to tell how many people liked a picture.
And you could even go to your little feed thing and see like, oh, this person liked all these pictures.
Yeah, you could see what other people were doing. You can't do that anymore, can
They
you?
got rid of that.
Yeah.
But not to a different extent, because I've even received like notifications saying, "Hey, this person and this person and this person liked this picture."
Yeah.
Like,
We used to get. We had a teacher. We had a teacher from our high school that we added to our. When we graduated, I think we all found him on Instagram and added him, and we used to look at his like. What he was liking, and it was all like naked girls. It was so bad.
no.
It was so bad.
exposing.
Oh no.
He got fired. He got fired.
Was it for that?
No,
was
he
it?
got fired because he posted conservative stuff to Facebook.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which is sad because like you should be able to.
You should be able to voice your
Yeah,
own
your
opinion
opinion.
on your own time
Yeah.
on Facebook.
That's unfortunate.
Because the other side can voice their opinion.
Yep.
Be totally fine.
Oh yeah, it doesn't even matter about sides to me. It's just
Yeah.
you have this professional job where when you're there, you're doing your job, and you have this other life. What are we supposed to say, that your life
Yeah,
should be
you're not
only
allowed, yeah.
your job, only
And
your
they're
corporate
making like
state
30K,
job?
30K a year.
30K.
Yeah. They already have this huge sacrifice of working this job that doesn't pay a lot, and all of a sudden now they also can't have a life outside of their job.
And not to mention, like, while you're living that more than 50% of your life, you have to suppress yourself enough. Like, you can't even express that on your own time.
Yeah.
It's I don't even want to dive into that, to be honest.
It's even like it's even like right now.
Yeah.
We're sitting here talking and saying all this stuff, and we're having some beers. Like we're not being super professional. We're not trying to be not canceled, you know.
Yeah.
And you can just get so much backlash from speaking your mind in a.
Yep.
This is the new public. The new public is the internet.
Yeah.
We're in public currently. We're like in town square, just speaking.
It's a
Honestly,
big town
more
square.
It
than
is.
public.
Yeah.
Because in the setting we're in, it's just the three of us, but there's an endless amount of people that could view this.
Yeah. It's going to be
And,
infinitely
He
accessible.
disagrees with what I believe in. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. And then they can do whatever they want. Like
Yeah.
the cool thing about being in this position where we're just a small podcast right now is that we can we're kind of under the radar.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of fun because there's no real response. We're just doing what we want.
Yeah. And then 30 years from now, when you're like the biggest podcast in the world, people are gonna bring up these videos and be like, "Hey, they used to say this."
Yeah, and
Cancel
we're gonna be annoyed that we're not in this place anymore.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
miss this. We're gonna
is-
miss being in this small podcast where our main comments are, "We really like when you
Janice.
take your freaking toes out
Yeah.
and you wiggle them on the camera." We're gonna miss this because it's gonna be like
Yeah.
thousands of people commenting like, I disagree. That's a horrible thing you said. I blah, 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 blah."
The internet summed up in a nutshell. Shout out to Janice. We need to get Janice on the pod.
Yeah, we need to call in Janice.
Send some feet pics,
I would.
Janice.
I get a lot more comments on my YouTube than I get on the From the Depot YouTube does not get that many comments, but my YouTube,
Yeah.
where it gets a lot of comments.
Dude. I heard you because I was like listening to pods, like, and you would say something, and I would be like, "Oh, I want to talk about that when I get on the pod." Back to like the building lawnmowers situation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pee real fast.
Yeah, I have to pee as well.
Okay, I'm gonna pee as well.
Shut it down.
I'm gonna
Shut it
pee,
down.
pee,
Shut it
pee,
down.
pee.
That's so much fun. Go from projected #1 team to not making the tournament
I know. Isn't that like
Shout
the first
out to
time it's
UNC.
ever happened?
ever. But as a Duke fan, the limits of what I can say are limited, to say the least.
Yeah.
They beat us in Coach K's last ever home game, and they beat us in the tournament for the first time we ever met for Coach K's last game ever. So
Yeah.
they got the ultimate W.
Yeah. But I don't know. You got this season under your belt.
Every
Then
time
they bit the dust the next season. It's fine.
Yeah.
Every time I come back in here, I just smell that freaking fruit.
Dude,
Doesn't it smell bad?
Yeah.
I don't smell it. I think there's just like a certain radius to it.
You gonna smell that?
Okay. Before we were all peeing.
God, I already forgot. There was 30,000 thoughts that ran through my
No,
head while I
no,
was
no.
peeing.
You were saying about the mower.
Oh
Yeah, the
dude.
mower.
So it's funny because like I didn't think that was such like a common thing to do.
It is.
But like 2 years ago, my nephew, as I spoke of before,
Uh-huh.
he's a genius. He comes to my house and he's not the type of person that can sit still. Like he's like,
Mhm.
we need to do something. I'm like,
Yeah.
let's chill for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we just got done doing this. Let's chill. Like for like 5 minutes. He's like, nah, let's do something. And like, so this dude gets me riding around, just looking in people's yards, like glancing at people's yards, because you never like you ride by these people's houses
Yeah.
every day, and they've had this mower in their yard for 30 years. You never thought
You're
of
not
it. And he's
thinking
like,
about it.
We're driving past these people. He's stop there. They got a mower. I'm like, fuck it. We pull up to this dude's crib. He's got like 4 mowers in the yard. knock on his door, and he's like, "Hey, I wanted to see if you would sell that mower because my nephew has this in his mind. Like, we're gonna build a mower."
Yeah.
And we stop at this dude, and he's like, "What? You want to like build a mower?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've been doing this for years." And he's like, "Hell yeah!" And my nephew's like, "How much you want to sell it for?" He's like, "Dude, if you're doing this for what I think you're doing it for, like, I will give you these."
No
mowers."
way.
I'm talking like 2 doors down from my house.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, "I'll give you these mowers. Like, you just do what you
What?
say you're doing it for. Like, because you probably seen me before. Like during the winter, I ride them up and down the street, and I'm like, I have, but I never thought about like people actually build these mowers.
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating because like my nephew was like, it's simple. Like you just take out this pulley and switch it for this one, and like, it makes it go like
Way
50 miles an
faster.
hour. And I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
And
How
so,
old
like,
is your cousin?
Well, at this time, he was like 14. It started when he was young. Like, this dude started building motorized bicycles and flipping them. And then he graduated to, like, the little mini motorcycles.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, the mini bikes.
20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And he modified it to go, like, 53 or some crazy shit. And then he goes to dirt bikes and mowers, and now he bought the Bronco and is doing it. And I'm like, dude, I can't wait to see what he produces when he gets older.
My favorite thing about the mowers so far, like I'm building this mower currently,
Yeah.
is that there's not that much good information out there.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of true trial and error where that doesn't exist in the same way anymore. Because if you buy a car, like if you buy a Subaru,
There's a
like a
there's
WRX,
a forum for
Yeah.
every car.
yeah, and there's so many.
Yeah.
Everyone has asked every question you could possibly have thousands of times.
Thousands of forums.
And for some reason, the mower is just like everyone's kind of figuring out by themselves. So I'm learning a lot, and I'm taking a lot of weird chances.
Yeah.
I'm buying parts. I'm like, maybe this will fix it,
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm learning a lot from the mower. I think the mower is the best way to learn about an engine.
Yeah.
I've known how an engine has worked for a long time, but the amount of like intimate knowledge of how an engine works since I've started doing this mower has increased like crazy. I feel like I've know so much more about how these mechanical machines operate.
Yeah, I didn't know shit until he started telling me, and I'm like, "How do you learn this?" And he's just YouTube.
Yeah.
The simple answer. He
Well,
just
and now
watches
I'm one of those
YouTube.
assholes on YouTube building a mower, and little kids. I have so many little kid fans. It's awesome.
Well, listen, if you want to expand your mower collection, I think we still have one sitting in the yard over there at 1500, and you can do whatever you want with it. Because it was kind of like supposed to be like a week project,
Yeah.
but there was a bump in the road, so we didn't get to finish completely.
Yeah.
We couldn't take it home with them, so it's kind of just sitting there.
Well, I'm pretty close to my
Dude, I want to see that thing run.
Yeah?
Because I know they can fly,
yeah.
which is crazy to me.
Mine is going. I haven't timed it yet to see how fast it's actually going, but it's way faster than any mower I've ever
Yeah.
ridden. Like it's because the seat is slippery and it's on a little spring, and it doesn't have any like side bolstering, so it doesn't hold you in the seat at all, and it's hard to stay on.
Yeah.
I jumped it today.
Oh, so it's running.
I got a
Moving.
video coming out today,
Yeah.
or it's not coming out today. The video I filmed today, it's probably I'll drop it later this week.
Yeah.
And but I jumped it today, so I felt good about that
Where do you have it over? Is it here?
at my parents' house.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But all I did was most of the work I've done on it is trying to get this engine to run right.
Yeah.
Because it's the worst freaking engine on this mower ever, which is kind of a cool thing because it's given me all these weird problems and I have to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Fix it. And this video that's coming out later this week is going to be one of the first where I'm actually riding it
Yeah.
really at all.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool. And then I really, really want to. I have two ideas in my head that are kind of burning in my head of what I really want to make. And one is there's two videos, right? I took my racing mower through a drive-through, and I took my racing mower to an ATV park.
Oh, heck yeah.
And for the ATV park one, I really want to take it to Busco Beach, which is close to us in Greensboro, like an hour away. And I want to have a GoPro on my helmet, and I want to have two people recording me. One person recording me from like an external point of view, and one person recording other people watching me. because I think people will be staring.
Yeah,
I think people will be like, "What is
Yeah,
going
you
on?"
take it to the drag strip.
I want to take it to the drag
Yeah.
strip and have.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Is it like? Because I know some people go for like the slammed look. Is it
Mine
more like a off-road type.
right now, mine looks exactly like a mower, except
shit.
I took out the governor. So like normally you get on a mower and you can kind of turn the throttle. It's like a little lever.
Yeah.
And you can put it high, low, choke all the way at the top. Mine, I took the governor out. So I have to like adjust where the idle is, and then I put a throttle pedal on it.
Oh shit.
So I can rev it. And
Yeah.
it's so janky. It's the most janky thing ever. Like it's so hard to rev it smooth.
Yeah.
But you can. And then there's the regular clutch. It's like the clutch brake where like normally to ride it, you would put it all the way up, you would engage the mower deck, and then you would take off the pedal, and it at the farthest push of the pedal is the brake. You let off that, the brake comes off. You let off that, it starts to drive.
Yeah.
Mine, it still has the brake and the clutch, but now I have a throttle pedal.
Yeah.
So I can drive it like a car, kind of, but it's so hard to drive. But today, I took it into the woods, and I got some air, and it scared the shit out of me. Because I didn't think I was going to get all the way in the air on a lawnmower. And when I was really like in the air on the lawnmower all the way, and I landed and my feet were flying off of it, and I was trying to hang on to the seat, and the hood is popping up, and I'm like it was so awesome. But I got a lot of good video of it, so that video is coming up.
Hell yeah. That's just crazy. You could do that with a lawnmower.
And I've spent a decent amount of money now on little parts trying to fix it,
Yeah.
but it's all like $30 at a time.
Yeah, I was gonna say like even modifying it, it's like you
I'm
buy new
definitely-
pistons, it's like
Yeah.
$40.
I'm less than probably $400 into it.
Yeah.
And I bought the mower for $200, and then I sold the mower deck for $100. So I was
Okay.
in the mower $100.
Yeah.
And then I've bought like a new camshaft. I bought new seals. I bought new like starter gear. Like I've bought stuff for it, but it's way cheaper than buying like a 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
And you learn more because you
It's
have
honestly
to.
like has a new sense of fun to it. 'Cause It's like a damn mower. It'd be sick if it was like could still mow also. Jump into the next
But the
person's
scary
yard.
thing though is then you're falling off of this vehicle. You're going like 40 miles an hour on this vehicle that has blades on it, spinning like whatever 1500 RPM.
How fast does it go?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm gonna time it. Next video, I'm gonna try and figure out how fast it's going.
Get the little speedometer.
I think I'm gonna
out.
bring it here.
What would you predict the top speed would be?
I want to say it's really fast because it feels so fast, but I bet it's only like 15.
Really?
It feels like a golf cart.
Yeah.
Like a golf cart, you feel like you're going fast when you're driving a golf cart 15 miles an hour, but you're not really. If you're in a car, it would be slow. But I think it's going pretty fast. Because I went from, there's like a huge like 10-inch gear on the back, and I went down to like a 3-inch gear. And then, or a pulley, sorry. And then you can also change the pulley on the front, but it's a lot more complicated to do. But it's possible.
Yeah.
I'll probably do that eventually. But I also want to switch out the engine. Like I've got all these things to do, and then it's just fun because I'm learning so much about not only the mower but also just how to make videos, and how to make a video that has a good thumbnail, and how to title the video, and how to market the video, and how to.
I didn't realize how much of a difference that makes in like how well your video does. After listening, I don't know if you listened to Joe Rogan with Mr. Beast.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
did.
he just talked about how they would just study how to make a thumbnail.
And that guy, Mr. Beast, spent years of his life just focused on virality.
Yeah.
How does something go viral on the internet?
Yeah, and you're thinking like there can't be that much to it. And then you see how it's paid off for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's way more
the thing
complicated
is,
than we think.
No one is willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
And you feel like I'm surrounded by this sea of people who are also making YouTube videos, but you're not.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by this sea of people who could do it.
Yeah.
Everyone, like going to an engineering school and being surrounded by a bunch of people in engineering and constantly hearing. I would tell people, I didn't like telling people I was going to school for engineering because they would always be like, oh, you must be smart. You must be like really good at stuff. You must be blah, blah. I was like, I don't think that's true. I think that for whatever reason, my circumstances led me there, and the hard part is not quitting. The hard part isn't doing it.
Yeah.
And some people, yes, were super good at it naturally. It wasn't me. It was hard.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing that well, really. But I got the degree.
Yeah.
I got a degree in mechanical engineering. And it's not because I'm super, super smart. It's because I just did it. And the doing it is the hard part.
Yeah.
That's the part that is hard. And for me, it was stubbornness. It wasn't, I don't think it was impressive that I did it because I was so stubborn. I was like, I have to do this. I'm not going to quit because I don't know what else I'm going to do. I was scared. I was scared of not having the degree. Like I was terrified of not having the degree. So I was like, I'm just going to do it. And the whole time I felt like I was supposed to be failing, and I just did it.
Yeah.
And so all these people, I mean, that's just school, right? So many people, so many Americans go to college.
Yeah.
But what about all this other stuff? Like becoming an influencer is a new thing to do. And there's all these people who are failing at it. They're making all these videos that are just flopping. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to produce a bunch of stuff that's not good.
Yeah.
Before you get good. There's no one who just starts really good. Look at all these musicians and artists and content creators and influencers. They all start with some trash content. And they just
go
get
back and
good.
listen to their first songs or videos or whatever.
Have you ever listened to Young Thug when he was brand new?
I don't want to. 'Cause
It
right now
sounds
it's like
It sounds so different. It sounds so different. Because everyone knows Young Thug, like when Lifestyle came out. Not just get them lifestyle.
and now he's serving a life sentence.
Went from lifestyle to life
free Young
sentence.
Thug.
And now you got Trey Songz. Is Trey Songz? No. Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez, yeah.
He shot the horse girl.
Should have shot the other foot.
No, but I used to watch Mr. Beast's videos. Like, oh, I'm counting to 100,000.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And I'm like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I go back and it's like Mr. Beast is the biggest YouTuber.
Yep.
And it's because he's willing to just do it.
Yeah.
How many people? And he's talked about that video before.
Yeah.
And he was like,
He has so many of those videos.
where he's just not actually spending much money.
No,
Just
where
like the original
where
videos?
where he's saying like Logan Paul 100,000
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. And the thing is, it doesn't take any capital to make that.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it takes
lot.
it's weirdly a huge commitment to do that. And most people just would say, no, I'm not going to do that. And he's just the one guy who's like, I don't need any money. I can make this video and I can get famous from this. I'll have the most subscribers ever. He made this, it's kind of weird. He made a video to auto upload 5 years later.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like around 5 years ago, or maybe it was like a little longer than that. But it's just him being all young saying, I really hope you have 1 million followers. And it's so weird to watch, but
Yep.
and I don't really watch his videos, but I have a lot of respect for the guy.
Ton of respect. Which is now because it's like come full circle and now people are hating on Mr. Beast. I've seen a lot of Mr. Beast hate lately.
Yeah, because you're gonna get hate.
No matter what you do, people are gonna hate on you.
Mm-hmm.
If you show any glimpse of success, people are going to get angry. People are angry because they think they deserve that, even though they didn't put in any work towards that.
None.
They have this idea that they deserve what you have. That's
Like,
what.
one of his most recent videos, I cured blindness for 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And I see people talking shit, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, like
It's like
There's
he's
no-
actually
there's-
helping
yeah.
all
people.
these people's eyesight back.
yeah.
Like,
It was like, yeah, they had cataracts. They weren't actually blind. It's like, no,
we're talking about
he's
like, oh, he's
helping
probably
people.
like, y'all think this is charity, but he's making so much money off of this. If you
Yeah.
listen to the podcast, he reinvests like all the money that he ever makes. He makes
Yeah.
no money.
But
off
like
of these
if he's
videos.
not making money off of it, then it's not even a thing.
yeah,
You have to make money. Where I
to
mean,
produce the videos,
you have to make
Yeah.
money to fund the videos. And yes, you're right. I know what you're saying. You're like he invests all that money back in. But it's so weird that people get upset about people making money,
Yeah.
especially when they're like, I'm making all this money. I have this huge audience. I'm going to use it and benefit people.
Yeah.
And people are mad.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he's just doing it for the money. They're not even mad about what's happening. They're mad about the motivation.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing to be mad about.
Yeah, it just goes back to people are always going to be upset or mad if you're more successful than they are.
Like, no matter what.
No matter what. It's inevitable.
Well, I'm trying to be that guy who's more successful than most people.
Make people mad. I'm sure it can take a toll on you, though, if you pay it any sort of attention, though,
100%.
in taking all the negativity.
Did you hear me talking about my hate comment I got?
Oh, yeah, some dude was like, I forget exactly what she said.
Was it the jeans?
The jeans.
Yeah, like, I hope this guy never reproduces or something.
Yeah.
Dude, I have a video that did pretty well when I was like 8 years old. We might have to pull it up. Iconic video.
Well, yeah, I can't. It's not coming up right now. But he was like, "Yeah, I hope these genes are never used to reproduce."
Yeah.
What's your video? I will pull it up.
Look up John Cena gets hit by a car.
What?
I used to be deep into wrestling, and there was one event where like John Cena got hit by a car, and so I went back home and I reproduced it with like action figures and cars, and it got like 25,000 views. And back then, that was a lot.
What is your channel?
Scroll down a little bit. You'll see it's like a yellow truck. Dude, it used to be like one of the first videos.
John Cena.
Gotten overrun.
I forget what the video. Oh, right
Is it
there.
that one?
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Cena gets hit by a car. 25,000 views.
Yeah, and it was going nuts back then. And people in the comments were like, I just wasted 20 seconds of my life.
The end. Is that a royalty free song?
Probably
Break
not.
Apart by Her Heart by
Yeah.
Good Charlotte. Yeah, I probably
Definitely not.
I'm not gonna put that song in, but I'll put a different. Maybe I'll put a different song in.
It might not have been this one where people
The
were
comments.
commenting.
Do you turn the comments off?
Probably. There's another channel. What is it? HB Rocks 1? Yeah. There's
HB
another
Rocks
video where I
1.
like reenacted other wrestling history.
Wrestling History
Yeah. And people were talking mad shit.
by Griffin Stanley.
Just putting the full name out there. You just see me in my undies going nuts.
You are in your underpants.
Wow.
And I was literally recording this on a laptop. Like,
Look
with
at
the
you.
web
You're
camera.
young.
Batista with the one leg. It's so bad, but like, I was having fun. Wait, this one even has 1.2K.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you don't have to watch it all. It's pretty whack.
I'm gonna have to change the music, but
Yeah.
yeah. So he put like regular music on it, but I if I want the podcast to be up, I gotta. YouTube used to not care, and for the old like my old videos have like real big name like
Yeah.
music on it, and they used to not care, and now they do. They will not let you put your stuff up.
They are. I have realized they've gotten way stricter on it, and it'll like automatically flag you too.
This is 14 years ago, dude. I had some weird stuff on YouTube when I was around that age, like Lego stop motion stuff,
Oh
and
yeah. I mean, I had nothing but time back then. I was
Right?
just- we started like a wrestling little thing. EKW champion. We used to wrestle in the backyard on the trampoline. We'd have championships and stuff. That was pretty funny.
Oh my god.
And then we were even beefing with like another channel that was called EKW. Like, we'll fuck y'all up. Like, yeah.
Like none of you can even drive. Like, you're like, how do you even get there?
That's my first internet beef. Talking shit in the YouTube chat.
That's what I've talked about before on here is that like this is the first time I've tried 3 separate times to start a YouTube channel. And the first time I was very young.
Yeah.
The second time I was a little bit older, but this is the first time I've been able to drive.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that changes the entire game. Because all of a sudden I can drive, I have a real job, I can make money enough to buy a $30 camshaft for a lawnmower. Like, so I all of a sudden it's way easier.
Yeah.
And I have my own, like, I can make, like, I can just plan it out. I can spend a week every other day I'm recording some, and then I can make up a video around every week. And I just couldn't do all that when I was younger.
Yeah. Money makes all the difference, really.
It does.
That and driving.
And being
Or
able
if you
to
have
drive.
parents that are willing to do it for you.
Yeah, but I was not going to ask my parents to drive me places. That's the same thing with dating. I would never let my parents drive me to a date. I had a thing against it. Yeah, I was like, there's no chance that I'm not driving my date somewhere. So as soon as I got my license, I got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I was like driving her around. And I was like, this is awesome. And there's no chance I was having my parents pick up me and my date and bring us to like the movie theater.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I mean, I did that, so I can't really say much about it, but
I don't have an like. Yeah, I'm not like saying you did the wrong thing.
yeah.
I'm just saying for me,
yeah.
I had that weird thing.
It
I
was
like,
weird though. It was definitely awkward.
Was it
Like
having your
"Hey,
parents
how was
bring
your
you?
date? It was good.
I'm so excited to mess with some kids. Like when I have some kids, they're gonna hate how much I mess with them.
Yeah, I can't wait either.
I'm gonna be like, did you guys have a fantastic date? Did you kiss? Did you hold hands? Did you? And they're gonna be like mortified.
Dude, I want to be the parent that like, because I saw something about this the other day. Like, kids will believe anything that you kind of feed to them.
Yeah.
So you could just like make up something that makes them believe.
Yeah,
Not anything
yeah.
crazy. Like, don't brainwash your kids into
No.
believing certain things. But like, did you do this? You didn't do this, bro. Oh,
Yeah.
it's not gonna work,
Oh my
man. Nah, you
God.
fucked up. You fucked. Like there was one guy that was talking about. He was tired of his kids screaming, and he was like, "You guys can keep screaming, but like you're gonna run out. You only get a certain amount of screams in your life." He was like, "You don't believe me? Listen, like, I can't scream anymore. Like I used mine up, so I'm trying to just like you can scream if you want to, but you're gonna use all your screams.
But don't use it all up.
And they were just like mortified. We're gonna use all our screams.
Oh my gosh.
You can really, and it just like I would think about times where like my parents would say certain shit, and then I would like, now that I'm old enough to realize like they were just completely bullshitting, but I was totally believing them the whole time.
See, my parents, I don't think bullshitted me much, but I was also not the kind of kid that needed much bullshitting.
Yeah.
I was kind of like just wanted to know a bunch of stuff, so I would ask way too many questions and stuff. But his mom would make some stuff up
Yeah,
to get them to stop talking.
it's the best way to do it
Yeah.
because they're not gonna question their. Well, usually you won't question.
No,
your
because
parents.
you that's your only source of truth
Yeah,
that you know.
it's a respectable lie.
Yeah.
Respectable.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Like so our neighbors over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right next to this house.
Which one? The one that you thought is Oh no, that's on your house.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
somebody
no,
was
no,
like a murderer.
No, not the murderer, not the
yeah,
murderer.
yeah.
Right next to this house.
Yeah.
They have 3 little kids, all under 3 years old.
Oh damn.
So very close together, very young. And I've never really experienced little kids. I mean, my siblings,
Yeah.
like, were all, I was so young. I don't really remember
Yeah.
it for what it really was.
Yeah.
So this is my first experience with little kids because I see them pretty regularly because Avery babysits them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so weird. They're just tiny people.
Yeah.
And it's so entertaining, and I love them to death. They're so funny, and they're so nice. And the oldest one, Bobby, he'll come over to me and he'll be like, "I love you, Tyler," and it melts my heart. Like I can't help but be so. Like no other dude can come over to me and say I love you like that and melt
you
my
just
heart,
feel that way,
but
yeah.
this 2-year-old can, and I'm just like, oh, I love you too, Bobby. Like you're my.
Like that's his real name, Bobby.
Yeah, Bob. His name's Robert.
Okay.
But they call him Bobby, and then Bobby and Lizzie and Charlie. That's their names. And Lizzie is like 1 or 1.5.
Yeah.
And she
She's
whispers.
funny.
The other day we were in here, right?
Yeah.
We were just in here because Avery was babysitting them, and the cat was up on here eating its food up on the little bar back here. And Lizzie puts her arms up to me to pick her up, and she's never done that to me before.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not gonna like move jerky so she doesn't like decide not to, because usually if I pick her up she's like ah and so I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll pick you up, and I just pick her up and she wants to go see the cat and stuff, and we see the cat standing up there, and I'm like meow to the cat, and she looks at me, she gets right in my face and she says yow. And I'm like meow, and she just looks at me again. Yow.
Yo.
And I was like, I didn't want to like move too sudden or laugh too hard, because I didn't want. It was like the first time she's ever trusted me like that. It's just so funny. They're so
like,
funny.
yo.
Kids are
Does it
so
not make
funny.
You want a kid though?
A little bit it does, which is
it's like-
weird, because I also have this other feeling of like I don't want kids at all. About
Dude,
like,
same.
but then
It's like,
but then
when
you
did I,
hang
like-
out with one and it makes you want one.
When did I hit that point where I like don't want kids to like, dude, I kind of want a kid.
Yeah.
Like, and we have the capability at any time.
Anytime.
Like, I definitely don't want one right now, but I'm gonna definitely keep practicing.
It's weird. It's weird because you don't want one at all, but also I don't want to be an old parent.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, I have old parents and nothing against it, but like, I mean, I was the baby, so like my oldest brother is like could be my dad. So it's like,
Yeah.
It's that big of a gap?
oh yeah, my oldest brother's like 43.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I was an accident.
That is crazy.
Happy accident.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
Bob Ross.
Bob.
I
Wait,
see
he's
your
my
dad,
half
dude.
brother, so-
Okay, I haven't really said like where I work on the pod, because I'm not trying to kind of associate myself with that from the pod yet. But basically, I work in a kind of like a residential zoned area right next to your parents' house.
Yeah.
Right next to your parents' house.
Literally, yeah.
I look through the woods and I see your dad all the time, and I pee next to the building that I work in.
Yeah.
Which every time I go out to pee, I'm looking for Cliff. Clint.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Clint every time. And he's out there a lot.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes I'll start peeing and his truck just starts coming around the building, and I stop. I can cut it off. I've learned how to cut it off just for Clint. Cliff?
Shout out to Clint.
Clint.
Yeah. Dude,
I
he
have a
has
friend-
No schedule.
I have a friend whose dad is Clint, and I have a friend whose dad is Cliff. So now I just can't get it straight.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Oh, Clint. Yeah, he has no schedule. He surprised me a few times. I wasn't peeing. I was doing other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just pulls up out of nowhere all the
He
time.
will pull up
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Because
And
like
there's
my mom, I can kind of read her schedule.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I would be doing things that I wasn't supposed to be doing outside. And I would know like, oh, my mom's not pulling up. And I would have her location. But my dad,
Yeah.
like, you never know when he's pulling up.
never know. And you know what's the funniest thing ever? And I don't know if I'm calling out your dad right now or not, but I'll be in the shop like working,
Yeah.
and I will hear like Taylor Swift just it like fades in.
He's
like
a Swiftie?
it
He will bump whatever's on the radio.
it's
Oh
anything. It's
my
not
God.
the same song every time. It's
Yeah.
just not what I would expect this
Yeah.
old head Southern guy to be playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. And then I'm like peeing, and all of a sudden I hear Taylor Swift, and I have to cut the stream short.
And it's to the max every time. 'Cause
Loud.
He's like,
Loud.
he's like definitely could be legally deaf.
Mm-hmm.
And So it's just to the max. You hear it coming from the street.
Yeah.
Just
And your
whatever's
parents
on the
have
radio.
your parents have your house, and then there's like the little garage outside of the house, and then
Yeah.
there's like the barn out back.
Yeah.
And so I don't know which one he's in. I don't know which door is about to open, so I just pee quick. You know, I pee quick.
Yeah.
He probably has no idea that you're there.
I'm
to be
sure
honest.
he doesn't even notice. I'm sure it's not even a thing for him. He doesn't even know. But for me, for some reason, I just can't really pee when there's people watching
nah,
me.
dude, I feel that 100%.
Yeah.
If there's somebody in the same room, that's why I always hit the stall. Like
Mm-hmm.
if there's anybody in
Really?
the room washing their hands, like it just won't come out.
Yeah, and then
Wow.
if you're sitting there for like 5 minutes at the urinal next to
makes
somebody
it
else,
weird.
it makes it worse.
Cause like I'm peeing and like I can hear the person start peeing next to me. And
Yeah.
I'm like they're definitely thinking right now like why is this guy not peeing?
Yeah, why
Sometimes
is
I'll,
this
like-
guy
Yeah.
not peeing yet?
Yeah, this guy's weird.
He's been standing here 3 minutes and he's not peeing.
I've had times where I'll go to the urinal and I can't pee, and to not make it even more weird, I'll just zip it up. And
Me
walk
too.
away.
Me too. I've done that. I've left. I've
What?
left the
Just
bathroom.
leave and come back later.
Like
I have to pee so bad, but I can't.
as if they just didn't hear me
Yeah.
peeing.
Just
I've
don't
left
think
the
about it.
What?
bathroom.
Yeah.
I couldn't pee to save my life because there's people next to me, and it started to get too long.
Yeah.
So I'll zip up and leave.
Yeah.
I'll wash my hands and leave. Like
Yeah.
I just peed.
I don't
That
know what
is
it is.
I've done that.
crazy.
It's we must have the same thing going
Yeah.
because like no matter who it is in the room, it could be my girlfriend. I
Yeah.
cannot pee if you're looking at me
Yep.
in the same room as me. Like
Yep.
it just does not work.
What the heck?
Even if I'm like about to piss my pants,
Yeah.
it will not come out unless I'm like in my little zone.
That's so weird. I'm more like alpha dog. Like I walk in and there's a bunch of dudes and I'm like, I'm gonna have the heaviest scream, I
I
swear to
could
God.
definitely see you being like that.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are like that, but for me, like Adam will sit there and just open his fly and just pee in the middle of the street. Like he does not care at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just not that. I have to be like in secret. I have to
Yeah.
pee in secret.
I don't know.
It's not a
weird.
No. Gotta let it fly.
I would love to be able to do that. It just does not. It doesn't come out.
Speaking of the bathroom, we went out for St. Patrick's Day, just yesterday,
Yeah.
and we went to this huge bar crawl thing in downtown Raleigh, and I was in the bathroom, and this dude was just obviously drunk, like fist bumped me on the way out of the bathroom, and for some reason I was already pretty drunk too, so I noticed that he had a bleach stain on his like shoulder, on his flannel he was wearing.
Yeah.
And like without a beat after I fist bumped him, I was like, "Yo, dude, when did you get a bleach stain on your favorite flannel?" And he looked so like shocked and confused, and he was like, "How did you know this was my favorite flannel?" And I looked at him and I said, "Dude, you would not be wearing that with a bleach stain on it if it wasn't your favorite flannel." And then everyone in the bathroom laughed, and I was like, "Yes, I got a big laugh." And then and then I saw him later at the bar, and he bought me a drink.
Nice.
The
Nice.
dude
Wow.
bought me a drink. I'd never been bought a drink at a bar
Yeah.
before,
That's
Dude.
funny.
but it was cool. I was like, "Dude, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that." And he was like, "I want to. And then he told me I should take shrooms. And I was like, "Yeah, maybe."
That was it.
I had a experience like that in some bathroom at some bar one time. I forget what happened. It was deep though. Like people were rolling in deep. Everybody has to piss, every 5 minutes. And somebody said something about like a girl coming up to them. They're like, "Dude, if a girl comes up to you, this and that," and I was like, it just came out. Like I was trying to piss.
Yeah.
It was one of those situations where like I couldn't piss, and I was like, "What if her name is Beatrice?" And everybody's like, "Ah!" and just dapping me up. And it's like when you get tipsy
Dude.
and like no matter what you say,
Yeah.
people are gonna be like, this dude's cool as fuck."
When I get a laugh in a public place, like we're in just some public place,
Yeah.
and I get a real laugh, there's nothing else more rewarding than
Dude,
that.
it feels good.
It feels
really does.
so good.
It does. It feels amazing.
I even do that if somebody says something funny, and then like the conversation shifts. I make sure I kind of like laugh and make eye contact with them
Yeah.
because they deserve it. If it's
Yeah.
funny, and they said something funny and no one's laughing because no one really heard it or their joke got kind of stepped on, I will laugh.
Definitely.
Like a real laugh. As long as it's a real laugh. And I will make eye contact with them like, you know what you said is funny. And I did too. Because that was really funny. And I don't want you to like be sad about how no one heard your
Public
joke.
servant.
Yeah, I will always appreciate a good joke.
It's so funny. I love humor.
For real.
Just
That's what
anything.
make the world go round, man.
Really
True.
does. Like the worst times ever known to man. Just the funniest stuff is just what makes.
I'm
Did they?
always like looking for something funny to say.
Did the game end?
Yeah.
Who
they
won? Nice.
Me. I did.
I have to pee.
Splashed a 3. You have to pee again?
He's on double time, man.
Am I double and neither of you guys got to pee?
I don't gotta pee.
Okay. I'll be back.
2 minutes after you get back, I'll have to pee.
Okay.
I need some chapstick. I can't believe I ever forgot mine.
You forgot your chapstick?
Forgot the Vaseline, man.
I'm so against chapstick. It's
Why?
crazy. I've never used it ever.
You just a lip licker?
I guess so, but it's like actually one time I used it. Why I'm against it is one time it made my lips even more chapped.
Yeah, there are some that get you. Like
And-
chapstick brand.
It was even
Carmex.
the Burt's Bees.
Yeah, I don't like Burt's,
Burt's Bees got
it
me.
makes my lips burn.
Yeah, it's I'm
But
totally against
ever
it.
since like high school, I've been on Vaseline. They make these like tiny little Vaseline
Yeah.
containers. That's just my go-to.
I believe in Vaseline a bit more because it's just like it's one ingredient. It's
Yeah.
like petroleum jelly or whatever.
I'm
But
a big Vaseline guy.
every other brand, you look on the freaking stick and it's just like
This and that.
it's the crap. Like we said, you
Yeah.
can't
Dude,
spell.
I used to freaking eat or not eat Vaseline. I used to eat my chapstick.
No way. That's even
Because like this is like elementary school. I would get like a Reese cup Reese cup chapstick.
Oh, I know what
in
you're
my
talking-
stocking, and
yeah.
I'd be like,
you hate that joint. Oh my god. Oh my god. I used to have the Coca-Cola flavored one.
oh yeah,
And I never ate it, but I would put it on and I kind of would lick it.
not exactly. It's like why lick it when I could just eat it?
Oh my god, do
Nah,
I just get some Reese's cups?
I like definitely remember like walking around the track in elementary school with a Reese's chapstick and just taking a nice bite. Of it. That 100% happened at one point in my life.
Oh my god, were you one of the kids that ate chalk too?
Nah, I wasn't that kid.
Yeah.
There was a limit to my insanity.
I think my little sister did that. And she liked to eat chalk.
Chalk eater.
It's so
Did
weird.
Tyler, did you ever eat your chapstick?
Okay. I'll say no, but I used to
Come
lick
clean.
that shit
Yeah.
off my lips.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
I used to like I would put it on.
Yeah.
I used to have a girlfriend in kindergarten. They had this.
What?
She had this. It was on the school bus.
Oh, God.
It's when you could drive.
It was on the school bus, and one time she put on chapstick, and I was like, "Oh, are you putting on chapstick?" I was just a kindergartner. I was just pretty much asking her what was actually happening.
Hey, what are you putting on?
Are you
now?
putting on the chapstick? And she said, "I'm not even kidding." Kindergarten. She's like, "How old are you in kindergarten? 4?
5, 4.
5?
Yeah.
She said, "It's cherry. You wanna taste?" And then I kissed
Whoa.
her,
She
and it was
born-
like it was like a kindergarten kiss. Like it's just a.
Yeah.
But that was the hottest things ever happened to me.
Damn.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Kindergarten,
born a
bro.
thotty,
Are you
man.
serious?
When I used to live in New Jersey, I used to be a player. And then when for whatever reason, when we moved to North Carolina, I got real nervous. And I didn't
Wow.
talk to girls anymore. I had like 7 girlfriends in school in New Jersey, and I only went to school through like a part of the way through first grade. And I had all these girlfriends. One of the girls is a lesbian now.
Wow.
And I reached out. I went through like the stuff I had from New Jersey where it was all these kids saying, "Goodbye, Tyler. We'll miss you. You're moving."
Yeah.
And I went through their names and I found some of them on Instagram. And this one kid, Colin, who I was real good friends with in, kindergarten, first grade, I found him on Instagram and I DM'd him. And I was like, "Yo, like, do you still know all these people?" I was like, I used to know you and whenever I was tiny.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I do. He's like, I remember you.
Damn.
And I was like, that's crazy. You remember me. And I was like, do you remember this girl? And he's like, yeah, she's a lesbian.
Damn.
And I was like, I knew it. She had short hair when she was like 4. Like she was gearing up.
Yeah, she was.
And she was already
preparing
dating.
herself.
You know those lesbians, they date early. They date guys when they're young because they know they don't want it and they're just trying to get it out of their system.
Trying to hide it.
You can't hide from it.
Dude, I remember the first girl that, like, it was literally the first day of kindergarten. She came up to me and she was like, hey, like, you want to be my boyfriend?
Yeah. Like, yeah.
And I was just like, my brother has guns and he will shoot you.
What?
That is exactly what I said.
That's what you said?
Yes, and my family talks about it to this day. I mean, I kind of deny it, but apparently they remember it correctly.
That's so funny.
My brother has
That's
guns.
so
He'll shoot
funny.
you.
He will shoot you.
I was not with none of that funny business. I was there to get my work done and go.
Yeah. You're like, I can't believe you're trying to distract me with your body right now.
She was a pretty girl too.
Wow, do you want to be my boyfriend?
Anybody can get shot.
Damn, do
I'm
you
going
still
to
know
kill
her?
you.
No, she was one of those girls that, like, after elementary school went to a different school.
Okay.
So I never really saw her after that.
So yeah, you grew up here.
Yeah.
And you
My
did
whole
too.
life.
Kind of.
No, when did you move to here?
When I was like 4.
Yeah. That's
basically.
so that's all of school. But for some reason, moving here. No. I'll say even you. The thing is, our parents don't know anybody here,
Yeah.
and I feel like your parents do know a lot of people
Yeah,
who
my
went to
parents
your
met
school.
Everybody.
Yeah, and like, I know that my parents don't really know a lot of the people who were at like Garner High School.
Because they didn't go there.
They didn't go there,
Yeah.
and we weren't local. And I remember there was this like clique of people who were they were kind of like popular, and they were all friends because they all their parents knew each other.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, which, like, low-key, I was supposed to be in that group, but, like, I was pushed ahead of grade. See, like, I'm your age.
Yeah.
Everybody that in your grades
But
age,
you were a grade above me.
But, yeah, I got pushed up a grade for some reason. I don't know why, but... Yeah, like, there was that clique that, like, everybody in that group was automatically friends because all their parents were friends. Yeah.
Damn, so if you were in my grade, you would have been in that group.
I hope not.
It wasn't like a bad group really,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was just the Garner people.
Like,
Garner,
yeah,
North
like a clique.
Carolina.
Yeah.
So,
I was in a... Yeah. I mean, I had my own little group. Everybody had their own little
Yeah.
group in high school.
Yeah.
That they associated with.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. But I wouldn't trade it for anything.
No,
Still talk
I had
to
a
all my boys, so.
I had a fantastic time in high school.
Yeah.
I don't
honestly.
talk to a lot of the people that I was really good friends with in high school. I don't talk to a
Yeah.
lot of them, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. Like,
Yeah.
I had so much fun with those guys.
I can't understand why
girls.
people say, like, oh, I didn't like high school. I'm so glad. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of, like, if I had the opportunity to go back and just experience that one time, like, I think I would.
I would
It was-
in an instant. It
It
was,
was
so
very enjoyable.
The thing is, it was cool because you knew you were young.
Yeah.
So you knew nothing really mattered yet. But you had the first sense of like self-awareness that
Yeah.
you've ever had. So you're just hanging out with these people. You have people you've never hated anybody before. And all of a sudden you have some people you hate.
Yeah.
You've never loved anybody before. And all of a sudden you have people you love besides your family. Like
Yeah.
it's these people you love that are strangers when you met them. And you're just like all this stuff is coming to you at once. And you're kind of figuring out who you are. You get a car all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You can drive, and you're like going to these classes. You kind of hate them, but you're trying to figure out what your deal is. High school was a crazy
Yeah.
time.
And on top of that, like, luckily we went to Garner, and there was, like, actually some school spirit to it.
Yeah,
Like, doing
there was.
school-related things were enjoyable.
I thought I was
The GSteel killer.
the cat's coming in to mess with
I'm not
GSteel.
gonna lie, that cat scared the shit out of me. I just looked at it and was just staring into my non-existent soul.
Yeah, you got that ginger soul on you.
Oh,
Dude, I just realized I haven't eaten anything today.
dang. It's a beer.
No way.
I had a chocolate croissant from
Hey, so Duncan.
Dunkin' Donuts.
That sounds kind of good.
And that's why, because I haven't had that much beer, but I feel like I'm like really feeling it.
Yeah. That empty stomach hits different.
And the thing is, we drank a lot last night because we went out for St. Patty's Day, and I wasn't that hungry this morning.
Yeah.
But it does feel really weird now.
Yeah. Gotta replenish, brother.
I gotta. I'm about to go like Grubhub some stuff or something.
Yeah, I feel that.
Grubhub.
I had some good home cooked lunch and some leftovers that I put in your fridge.
Yeah, you did.
yeah.
He shows up with a bunch of food and he's like, I'm sorry to ask this, but I've got, and he had like a lot of food, like a lot of food. And he's like,
Now
do
I
you
feel
have,
terrible.
do you have somewhere to keep this?
Because I didn't want it to like go bad in the car. That would suck.
When it's like, it's one of those things where it feels weird to ask, but when you're getting asked that, you're like, yeah. Like, why is it even a big,
But now
it's
I
not
feel
even a
bad
big
'cause You're
deal.
hungry, and I just brought like home cooked meal into your house. And
Nah, I wasn't even that hungry until just now. But he's like, I'm sorry to ask this, but do you have somewhere where you can keep this food cold? And I'm like, yeah, we got this thing. we got
a refrigerator.
it's like this really big cold box we got.
Yeah.
I'm just being kind of an asshole.
I've never seen one before. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and he plays along with it. He's like, oh, what, did they just come out with those? And I'm like, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. At first, I thought you were talking about a cooler.
Yeah. Nope. Dude, this has been a fun pod. It's been a while, dude. It's been over 3 hours.
3 hours? What time is
Yeah,
it?
bro.
It's 8:30.
Oh, shit. I do need to go soon, but there was one thing I wanted to touch on before
All
I
right,
even came here.
Last topic.
Yeah, gaming. Because I walked into that
Gaming.
room and the gaming setup just like brought this feeling upon me.
Yeah.
And I saw GTA sitting on your
Yeah.
screen and it turned me on. I'm not gonna lie. It's turned.
Gus
Yeah.
will go to quit GTA, and it'll bring up that screen that says, "Are you sure you want to
Yeah,
quit?"
and it
And
just
in
sits there.
his mind, he's already done.
Yeah.
He's already quit.
bro, that's
He
not.
will
I
leave.
never do that,
No,
bro.
you left it the other day, and
No,
I was
I was
like,
there
I
today.
clicked yes, I'm
No
sure. Yes, I'm
shot.
sure.
I was trying to get into a lobby today, and it got me.
It's funny because I mean, Gus plays games. I think more than I do in general. Like he's just more into games than I am.
Yeah.
But both of us are not really that big into gaming. I feel like as far as gamers are concerned. Like I really don't play games. I've played GTA and Minecraft. That's it. And
Classics.
but they
Yeah.
are the classics. They're so
so
fun.
They're so good.
And they're those games that will never not be good.
And they won't. They'll always hit.
Yeah.
When you load up GTA and then you get in with one of your and the crazy thing right now that we have is like you've been in that room. We've got a room where it has a computer's on one side, and it's my computer, and then the other side of the room, and it's this small room, has his computer. And we can just both be in GTA and we'll get on the same server.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't have to deal with all the BS like chat
Yeah, we
and
don't have
Skype
to chat.
and stuff.
We're just
Yeah.
yelling at each other.
We're in the same room, and so like it's way too fun,
Yeah.
yeah.
and we'll do that. We've done that a lot.
Dude, gaming is probably my favorite thing to do in life.
Do you game a lot?
I game a lot. Like not nearly as much as I used to because I have
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
and a girlfriend and dogs and stuff that I have to actually do.
You have dogs?
Yeah. I have a dog and my girlfriend has a dog. So
All right,
Basically
keep going about
kids.
gaming. Keep going.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely get my fair share of gaming. Like, I have my schedule down pat. My girlfriend goes to sleep at like 9:30, and then I game from like 9:30 until like 2 o'clock. And then I sleep from like 2 o'clock to like 7 o'clock.
Dang.
Like,
on the
that's
5
insane.
hours.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my favorite thing to do. Like, people would consider it unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I can even consider it unhealthy, but it's like the most enjoyable thing I do. So is it unhealthy?
So what do you play?
That's what I was gonna get up to because I play GTA, but I
Yeah.
don't play normal GTA. Well, my main game has been Rust. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that.
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I've heard
it's
of it.
like
I've never really played it, but I've heard of it.
Up adult version of Minecraft. Not
Yeah.
adult version because anybody can play Minecraft, but just like graphics are better.
Yeah.
It's a little more advanced. It's pretty much the same concept.
It's more
of
like
Minecraft.
I feel like it's like PUBG mixed with Minecraft, but I might be wrong.
It is more like it's not battle royale, but it is more like revolved around player interaction. Like
Yeah.
rather than Minecraft, you can
Yeah.
have a great time just
By
on
yourself.
a single player server.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Rust has always been my game since like 2013 when it first dropped. Before that, it was Minecraft. But as of recently, GTA roleplay has been like a big thing, which is just like a modded version of GTA.
You've been playing that?
We were talking about that.
We were talking
intense,
about it the
bro.
other night.
It's intense. Like,
How'd you get on? Do you have to like apply to be on this?
Yeah, so I played this other server for a couple months, but it got old real quick because you have people not taking it serious and just like breaking the rules because there's no real consequences. So me and my brother applied to this server, and we've just been grinding it out for months. It is starting to die off, I will say.
Yeah.
But it revolves around so much player interaction that it's just like such an insane experience to gaming. Like it just opened up a new realm. Like it relies on the players that are on the server so deeply that it's like insane. Like
how many players are on that server?
350.
Okay, so there's always a decent amount because you really like what 16 is them.
Yeah, like on a normal GTA server, I think it's like 16.
Yeah.
But on this, it's 350, and like I mean, you have people doing everything. You got people playing cops.
Yeah.
You got people. The majority of people are playing the bad guys. You got people standing behind the counter at this restaurant, so that you can,
Damn.
so that you can go over there and say, "Hey, I want to buy this burger," type shit.
Really?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's so intense that like you could get in a shootout, and the cops pull up to the scene, and they can collect bullet casings, blood samples, and they can track it. And if they come across you later, and they confiscate that gun, they can link you to crimes that happened.
What?
What the frick?
That's so cool.
It's intense. But it's like for me, it's intense because like you actually have to follow the rules of like role playing. You can't refer to like real life and shit, which it kind of like you have to train yourself. It took me a while to get used to it, and it's like, dude, I feel shitty playing this, but there's people that are in there that are like, this is their life, and it gets kind of sad at some point. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You got people that spend more time in that city than they spend in real life.
Yeah.
But I'm not one of those people, so I'm not.
Dang, we might have to try that out. We might have to give it a go.
You have to apply, and you have to. I feel like you have to dedicate some time if you want to actually do it.
You do have to dedicate time. I mean, that's what I like about it because it's a slow grind.
Yeah.
It's not one of those games that you can hop on
Get that
and
instant
reach the
gratification.
end game within like a week. Like you have to put in time. Like I'm nowhere near the end game, which I don't even know what the end game would be.
Is there like a playthrough, or is it like you just go in and
just
you do it
however you want to? There's people that play as hobos. There's people that play as strippers, and me, I've just been kind of going with the flow. Obviously, I do like crime and stuff because that's one of the more fun things.
Yeah.
If I could really choose, I would be a cop.
Yeah.
They're kind of bitches, but they get the most action and stuff like that.
Dude, I saw I think it was like a YouTube short I was watching.
Yeah.
And this guy was role playing. He was a cop. And he pulled up on this dude, and he gets out of his cop car and he pulls out a flashlight, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing? You were doing." And he's so serious.
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you doing? You're doing 65 and a 35." Like, seriously pulled this dude over for a traffic stop, and he believes it.
Yeah.
Like, he believes he pulled this guy over for a traffic stop.
Yeah.
And he's freaking out. He's like, "How could you possibly be doing that fast in this neighborhood?"
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Oh, I don't know. He's like kind of being a little bit weird. And then the guy in the car pulls out a gun, and the cop shoots him.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, "I got a 1065 on," and he tells the road. He's like, "And I need backup, requesting backup. I got shots fired, officer involved shooting," and it's like watching a real video of a police officer involved shooting.
Is it all? Do you have to do first person?
No, not first person.
Okay.
Certain situations, it'd be more beneficial to do first person. Like if you prefer shooting first person and stuff. But yeah, like the cops, they're on the radio making actual call outs and shit, which I can't imagine being a cop because like the amount of effort and knowledge you have to learn.
It's like being a real, it's almost like being a real cop.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm more of like a crim, and like we have a big family. We got a big group that we just roll around together. We do like bank heists and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot more enjoyable when there's like other people to interact with.
Oh yeah.
Because GTA itself is super fun, but when you like, after a couple hours, you're like, okay, what am I doing besides driving around and doing the same heist over and over again?
Tyler and I have heisted the military base probably 300 times.
Oh my gosh. So we play GTA because we don't play on like like a role playing server or
Yeah.
anything. We just play on a regular servers, and it's a random every time. Like we just get on whatever the regular game puts you in, and we play like people from 2015 played. Which
Yeah.
is so different than how the regular people play. Like they've got all these new vehicles now, like the Nemesis or whatever.
Yeah.
That it's like a flying motorcycle and stuff. And we don't have any of that. So
Yeah.
we just spawn in, go steal a jet, and all of a sudden we're kind of like even playing field with all these young guys who are just like modding
Yeah, that's the
or have
thing.
all this money. Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
Nah, we're good.
Dave.
That's the thing. Like to make GTA a fair playing field,
You have to be in
you
there.
have to be like have mod like everybody's been hacked and had all the money and they can like that's what ruined GTA for me.
Yeah.
It's because somebody was
Yeah.
hacking in the lobby that I was in. They gave me all this money and then I bought everything and then I had nothing else to do. I didn't have to work to
Yep.
buy this car and do these heists just to get the money to do that. Like I just had all the money.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna play it cool.
She knows.
Good.
She
Nah,
can
that's the
detect.
thing. I like cats. I just
Yeah,
can't enjoy
yeah.
my time with cats.
But yeah, when we get on, we just people watch us. Like
Yeah.
people will show up and just watch us play because we play so different
Yeah.
than new people play. Like we will just get on and we will blast into the military base, steal a bunch of jets, go around and like blow people up and stuff, and it's just so different.
We're,
than-
we're menaces.
it's so funny.
We're Neanderthals.
And that's what I love about GTA. You
Yeah.
can do whatever. And
The
have
other
no
thing
consequences.
is there's always a modder. There's always at least like one modder on the server, and everyone's like, please give me money. And they're making up all these excuses. They're like, I lost my money when I tried to buy a car and it didn't buy the car, and now I lost all my money. They're saying all this stuff.
Yeah.
And Gus and I will get on, and Gus will demand money.
I'll demand it.
He'll be like, give me money now.
Yeah.
I said, give me money or I'll kill you.
And they just do
And
it.
they do. And then other times, like a modder will kill me, and I'll just say like, "Stop!" In the chat, just in the chat. Like I don't have a mic or anything. I'm just like, "Stop! I did not do anything to you. Do not kill me and bring me to the military base." And they will just show
do
up.
it.
They'll TP to me. They'll teleport to me, get me in a car, and then just bring me to the military base. And I'm like, how did that work? It's just like if you're assertive on their gaming.
God, I love gaming, especially PC. It just takes it to a new level.
What is
It does.
Yeah. Is that what you mainly do, PC
Yeah,
gaming?
ever since middle school, I've been on that PC grind.
hmm
Yeah, I used to play Minecraft really hardcore. and
I did
found
too
out
for a
about
while.
Rust. Well, I never really got into like single player Minecraft. It was always like factions,
Yep.
which is the thing I played, and then I got into Rust and like grinded that for a while, and CS:GO,
Oh,
PUBG.
CS:GO. That's
Now
the
I'm on
game.
that GTA. GTA is a different grind. I will say.
GTA is the most hours I've ever played. Like on Steam, I've got like 200 and some hours on
Yeah.
GTA. But he's got like on PUBG. What's your or not PUBG?
No, CS:GO. I have like 1,600 hours.
Oh shit.
I've never done that many hours
Yeah, I
on a
played
game.
a lot of CS:GO.
Yeah.
Rust, I think I'm about to hit 3K.
Damn.
But I've had it since 2013.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, there's people that literally have 30,000
Mhm.
hours in Rust.
I don't have anything like against it. I think it's
Yeah.
cool, but like
To a certain extent.
I just get bored.
Yeah.
I can't. It doesn't captivate me for that long.
Yeah. For single player, definitely. I cannot play a single player game for an extended period
Yeah.
of time. I rely on like that interaction with
Yeah.
other people. Because I'm like an introvert, but I like interaction with other people. So it's like
So
gaming
games are
is,
the
like,
way to do it.
perfect. It's just always been my comfort space, really.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand that.
If I can find like a solid group of people that I enjoy hanging out with,
Yeah.
it'll never be going out and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
don't really go out. That's why I would always come to your house and chill with Adam all the time.
Yeah.
And shit. Yeah.
That's how I feel too. I don't like going out either. I would rather just kick it and
Exactly.
have a burger, smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shit. I need to add y'all on Steam or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
be
gotta
on
do
there.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
but
plenty of,
can
like,
you get
public
on?
servers.
Can you get on regular servers still, or is your
Yeah,
game all
like-
modded out so you can't?
No, yeah. Like GTA is separate from like it's called 5M.
Yeah.
That's how you get into like the role play. They
Yeah.
also have like mini game servers
Yeah.
and like so if you ever see people playing like mini games
Uh-huh.
where they're just like trying trick shots and
Yeah.
jumping cars and
Uh-huh.
stuff. Yeah, you just do whatever. Like
Interesting.
Battlefield and gun game servers, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, are you guys ready to start this episode of the pod?
Yeah, we're
This
getting
was
into it.
yeah. This was all
This
just
is the
warm
warm-up.
up.
Yeah,
This is
let's
warm
start
up. So I'll hit record.
Bet. Welcome to the podcast.
FPD.
Okay, today we got GSteel on the pod. Is he really gay? Today we find out. Let's get on.
Hello. My name is Griffin Stanley.
I was thinking about that. I was sitting there cracking myself up thinking about starting an episode of the podcast and just immediately getting on like I was thinking racist. I was like today we got whoever on the podcast. We're gonna dive into, are the racist allegations real? More on this after the break.
Transsexual? Question mark?
That's
Getting
funny
into
because
it
like
and just putting them on blast because they're already like, okay, this is the first podcast I've ever done. They're like thinking about it, and then you just put them on blast and then just start the podcast. Just seems like such a funny thing to do.
it's funny because like before I came here, I was sitting with my family like I'm about to go on this podcast, and they're like, "What's the topic?" And my brother's like, "Yeah, it's like an LGBTQ podcast. Like he's gay," and then like obviously a joke. And then they like keep asking, and they're like, "No, actually, like, why are you going on a gay pod?" And I'm like, "It was a joke." And they're like, okay, well, but like, are they gay? And I'm like, okay. Y'all gotta be trolling me right now.
That's awesome.
Nah, nothing against gay people.
No, nothing against gay people, but when you're straight and people start all asking you if you're gay, it's
It
still
just
a
makes
thing.
it awkward.
Yeah.
It does.
Dude, I don't know why, but like so many people used to accuse me of being gay.
Really?
It's like, yeah, because I would wear like whatever, no matter what color. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that color is gay, or
Yeah.
getting your ears pierced is gay, your nose.
Yeah,
pierced
but
is
I feel like
gay.
you were kind of on trends. You were on like the Gen Z trends, and you're not Gen Z though. You're.
Which technically I am, but
You're-
I'm like, I mean,
Oh yeah, we are, aren't
I'm
we?
99, but like September of 99. I lived 3 months.
Yeah.
In the 90s,
Yeah, I guess we're technically Gen Z, but we're at like the highest end
Yeah.
of it.
like the gray area.
But you're more on those Gen Z trends a little bit more, and the like millennial people are all like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know. I'm just like different. And I like being different. That's why I would do the majority of the things
I
I
like
did.
that.
People would say like, "Oh, why are you doing that? Like nobody does that." And I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Bet."
That's why
That's
I'm
why I'm
doing
gonna
it.
do it.
That's why I'm doing it.
Yep.
All right, well, boys,
Yeah, I think it's
it's almost been 3.5 hours.
oh shit. Yeah.
Once I edit
Actually,
out
I have a meeting to attend at 10 o'clock
no way.
in the city.
I was gonna say it's a role
Yeah,
play.
It's a,
Oh,
Actually.
that's where you gotta go.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
I gotta be out of here.
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
same
we kinda got a
time."
heist going
nah, I told my girlfriend I'd be home by 7.
Well,
time is it?
Oh, it's 8:40.
it's 8:40,
It's
but
probably who's been blowing up my phone.
well, thanks for coming on,
Dude, it was a
bro.
blast.
Yeah.
I feel like I could keep talking for hours.
That's what always happens. And I got excited because this is our first guest in a long time.
Yeah.
So I think this is our longest pod. This is an insanely long
Yeah,
pod.
it is.
And I'm
Oh
gonna
my
re-listen to it tomorrow while I'm working.
I re-listen to him sometimes.
Yeah.
I didn't used to, but I started to, and it's kind of like entertaining
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I think I'm funny.
You are.
So I like to listen back to what I say because I make myself laugh, and then Gus makes me laugh, and whoever's on makes me laugh. So I just listen and I like it. It's
Yeah, I find myself laughing out loud at work.
Really?
Yes.
at our
I look
pod.
at- yeah.
That's
Oh,
so
dude,
good to
that's
hear.
awesome.
Especially, what was it? You were talking about like using the bidet.
Yeah.
You said something about an airlock.
Yeah.
And I started dying. And I realized like nobody else here knows what I'm laughing at.
That makes me so happy.
Oh my god.
All right, well,
Oh, she likes the stinky food.
I'm gonna have to end it right now because otherwise it's never gonna end.
Yeah,
so
true.
Yeah, for real.
everybody,
All right. Adios.
we'll see you
All right.
next week.
Thanks for tuning in.